Yeah, bro.
Alright.
All right.
We start
Well,
this.
Hey, Trent, I have a question. I literally forgot to ask you, but are you okay with me having the aberrant dragon mark feet?
yeah, Chase has it already.
Uh, oh yeah, yeah. I forgot you told me about that. Never mind.
All right. Well, we can jump back in with a group of preparing adventurers, uh, free to roam the world for a little bit. Not strictly military purposes this time. You
Iggy's back.
guys do what?
Ethan.
What?
Jakey's back.
Yeah, no. He just texted me.
Hell yeah, man.
Nice.
Okay, sorry.
Uh, you guys are gathering your supplies, more or less, to head out into the world and do the first non-military job any of you have really been on in a good period of time. You had concluded your conversations and talked to something, noting that he would not be here to give you any sort of job next time, so your orders are coming early. To after you're done with whatever personal business you have, head to the Green Dynasty. Your troop, finishing collecting things, gathering things, sending notes out, gathered up what supplies they felt they need, any personal belongings they're taking with them, and began more or less marching through the woods, taking familiar trails and routes. As you've been through the Cyrus Mountains several times already, you're finding your way back towards the Empire. And just from general reference, even if you can't tell precisely where you are in the mountains at any point in time, you know that you're heading in the general vicinity of Comorda, towards the semi steaming mountain that is somewhat volcanic in the area. Anything anyone would like to do during this journey, or we just want to continue to when you guys arrive at the base of the mountain?
I do have something. Um, how many days would it take us to get to our destination?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look up a map real quick.
Like, is it more than 2 days?
Yes.
Okay. So, I have an aberrant dragon mark on me now, which is pretty cool. So, like, one day in the middle of our little adventure, you guys Kotaro's off of his shift and he's trying to get some sleep, and then like in the middle of the night, you just hear Kotaro like start screaming like he's being murdered. It's in the like I guess on one of our camps or something, and uh he's kind of like curled up, and you guys can see on his back there's a hole that's been burnt into his bandages, and there's now a glowing red uh, tattoo on his back that looks like two swirling dragons, and it's glowing red like a brand.
What's your character's name again?
Kotaro.
Kotaro? Kotaro, I can't keep remembering it. Kotaro, what happened?
I don't know
You
what's on
didn't.
my back.
Did you do that to yourself or no? Because I know you do fire stuff.
No, it's just happened. It woke me up.
Can I make an Arcana check?
Uh, sure. I
Okay.
guess.
Is my phone charged? It has 30%. It's discharged. One muted. Child killer touchers in here, boys. Oh, that's not a good. That's not a good start. Oh boy. That is not good. Oh, 12.
No idea what this is.
I want to poke at it.
It stings both you and him in a weird way.
I thought it'd be like a rune or something that I have to press. Do you want to try to cut it off for you?
No, don't put it off me.
Can I make some check and see if there's anything like around that's like trying to sneak away?
All right, make a perception check.
God damn. 8.
You look around, ain't seeing anything responsible for this kind of rune, but the mountains seem quiet. If you had to guess.
Yeah, a little yawn in there. Um, yeah, I got nothing. Do you have any idea what that is?
No, it just appeared.
Um, is everybody else awake?
I mean, they can be, yeah.
I'll get up. I'll get Orion and just like ask him what should we do about this.
Well, what's happening? Yeah.
He has a dragon fire mark on him now.
He goes over and inspects it. Does it look like burn marks? Well, besides everything else.
No, it looks like it was branded there. Like someone took a brand and like branded it, and so it kind of looks like an old scar. You know how it humps over,
Yeah.
and it looks that, and it's glowing red hot.
He he looks at it and he doesn't exactly know what to do. So, uh, Orion puts his hand on your chest, puts her hand on wherever the tattoo is. He goes, "Maybe this will make you feel better." And he starts giving you uh, points of his lay on hands to see if it helps.
I'm guessing it doesn't.
No,
Not really, no.
I don't know.
It's more of a lingering wound by the time he already gets to it, so it's not necessarily doing anything at this point.
Would identify work on this?
You get the sense that it's not a magical object in any sense, so it probably isn't going to do anything.
Magical. Do you feel like you're gonna die from this, or are you just gonna like have a mark on you?
It
Why?
it just burns.
Does anyone else have any other ideas? I'm out of anything.
Um, Orion just kind of pats at his head, wondering what to do, and um, maybe this will help. And he casts Cure Wounds. Right? No, he doesn't. Never mind. I feel like that'd be a bad idea. Can I make a medicine check?
What are you trying to do with it? He doesn't seem to be actively bleeding or anything.
Just to see, like, to further explore what happened.
Sure.
Give me a second. Okay. MRPG, where you at?
Hi,
Hello.
Oh,
what just happened?
Uh, they're at the moment trying to discover why Kotaro now has a aberrant dragon mark.
Oh,
I still say we cut it off. I don't have any ideas.
Trent, I made a 14 on that.
The best you can see is it's as if something runic was once applied here, quickly taken away, and has just scarred over, as if it's been months since.
Totoro, your wound looks like it was. Looks like it's been months old.
It looks like it's been what?
Months
Old.
old.
Months old.
Fully
Okay.
healed.
But I've never felt anything there before. How could it be months old?
I don't know. That's just what it seems to be. And he just kind of starts like scratching his chin, trying to wonder, like, think how this happened.
Val, do you have any ideas? Okay, just like,
What? Hold on.
do you have any ideas, Al?
Uh, is Al with them? I don't know entirely.
Yes, your party has at this point finished up their preparations, as that's what we did last session, was finishing up all the prep work for this journey, and began this journey into the mountains. You are now several days deep into the mountains already.
Okay. And this wound of Kotaro's has just like only recently appeared or something?
It's hard to tell because of his bandages, but it's only recently been bothering him, as he literally just woke up, grunting in pain from it.
I don't think I have any idea of what this could be. Kotaro, are you feeling okay? Is it that bad?
It's it's a little hard to concentrate. I'll live.
Well, we don't really have any clerics that could soothe the pain.
I tried healing.
We've already tried healing.
Didn't work very well.
I see. Maybe it's probably something traditional that we have to do, but we don't have any resources for that. Kotaro, if it gets any worse, let us know, and we can have you rest up for a bit if you really need to.
All right. It's it's starting to go away. I think I just need to sleep this off.
Zal will just nod. And is it in the middle of the night or is it daytime right now?
At the moment, you're still traveling, so it's a reasonable time of the day. You're just looking across and know that probably the next day's travel is when you reach your destination, looking at the semi-smoking volcanic mountain not too far away.
Okay. All right. We still have some journey. We still have some journey left ahead of us. Uh, Faye, do you know how close we are to this map or X, I guess we can call it?
Then, Trent, so you said we're a day away from like the treasure.
From the volcano, at least. The treasure seems to be pointing in a random location in the volcano. Uh, your best guess would have you search the area for probably a few days more. But you're real close, and if you're lucky, you might be able to find it tomorrow.
It does say it's in the somewhere around the volcano, so at minimum a day, but we would have to check the entire volcano in its entirety to find this. But it's in the volcano or around it.
All right. So volcanoes. Lovely. All right. We'll get going then. Or I mean, we are going, but you know what I mean.
Continue going.
Yeah. Then, as Zal is walking, he's gonna pull out a pair of sunglasses, and kind of like look at them. He kind of like washes them a bit, rubs them. He doesn't really need to use them now, so he doesn't put them on him. Uh, and next, he also pulls out a tannish-looking bag that doesn't really seem to be holding anything inside of it. But whenever Zhao kind of like uh waves it around, and it kind of sounds like there's something in there, but there's like hardly anything that would give a hint on what it could be. And then he's just gonna put it back on his pocket, and then continue uh riding to uh to the place.
What is that? The little bag that's making sounds?
Oh, this is a bag of tricks. It has something. It has some magical properties, but I think it'd be nice if we all see what it could be used for.
Hmm. I got something similar.
And then I guess we continue on our journey.
All right, continuing on for the next several days. At least, probably. I'm going to need first to determine how many days this is going to take. The next day's journey is fine, but you have to make an investigation check as a party. So, who is leading that investigation check is important.
I have
Uh,
a +7, so it might be me.
but also, I need to know what that score is. So, two of you can make it, or one with advantage, depending on what you want.
I have a
Uh,
+7, guys.
Wait, did you say investigation or perception?
Investigation, as you are not just glancing over the countryside, but going through every nook and cranny in a attempts to find your location.
yeah, I have a +5, so Damien, you do it.
Alright, with advantage?
Uh, I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
well, I have to finish with them actually.
Okay, I guess I do advantage. Okay. 21.
21, relatively quick. You actually find this within the same day that you arrive. It's really not that hard to find to you. To most people, it probably is, but you're lucky, and you more or less stumbled directly into the line that you needed to go on. There wasn't a whole lot of thinking done about it. You just kind of found it. Even if you didn't want to, it would be hard to miss for this group. And finding it, you see that it is fairly obvious what it looks like, or fairly obvious, uh, like that this is obviously meant to be constructed. It's not a hidden thing, as in they put it in a mountain and just put it in a cave somewhere. This is hidden more due to the fact that it it's hidden more to the fact because it's so far away from society than anything else. Uh, and it's also relatively fortified. You think you're going to have a harder time getting in this store than finding this store. As right now you are looking at, in the side of the mountain, just slightly relieved into the stone, is a large stone door that is reinforced with metal. It has arrow slits all up and down it like it is part of a wall. It looks relatively strong, and you're not certain any of you could punch it down. But you
Is,
also note that there are points of entry which you can likely unlock in tumblers to turn. Whether arcane or physical, though, only a skilled picker could tell.
could I use my thieves tools? Wait, shouldn't we let the rogue do that instead? He's probably better.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's
well,
what?
What is it that I am doing exactly?
Are you
And
going to try and pick the lock at their behest?
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Then you're going to be making a lock picking check, which I'm certain proficient in. So all you have to do is roll a d20, add your dexterity, and add your proficiency. If you are expertise, add double that proficiency. Just a reminder to make sure
Okay.
you're doing that.
Yeah. Let me get on here.
16. Did you add anything to that?
As 16, and then add my what?
Dexterity and proficiency.
That'll
Okay, so
be
my dexterity is a. I have a 16 written down for dexterity. Is that
That
right?
is with a 16 dexterity. That is a +3 on
so
that
that
d20
is
roll.
19 right there. Plus his proficiency.
Okay.
So that'll be a 21, unless he's expertise.
Um, I'm not seeing it on here actually. That the lot picking.
It's not a set skill. You probably didn't write down lockpicking unless you expertised in it. But
Okay.
every rogue is always proficient in lockpicking. They always know how to do it. It's not a skill you pick as in like athletics or something. You just know how to
Okay.
do it because it's one of the main features of your class.
All right.
That was a 21.
Oh, 21. You head up to these
Plus
little.
proficiency.
Do what?
That's 16 plus his 3 dex plus 2 proficiency.
Well, being a skilled picker that you are, you head up to the door at the different locations, knocking a few each time, listening to make sure that these are actually locks and not some sort of trapping device. Uh, and you note that the reason there are 4 separate locks, specifically, is that 2 of them are fake. This puts you on alert to be careful what you're doing. But you're a skilled man, so you don't really worry all that much when you go in to one you're certain is really one of the locks. Within moments, that lock gives free. You immediately unlock one of the doors. You unlock the second one and have the option to open it if you want, but it doesn't really matter. You now have free entry to the inside of what looks to be a darkened, smooth tunnel. It goes on for probably about 80 foot, and you can see this because you are a drow. And then it abruptly, like, ends in what looks to be 3 separate doorways with weird inscriptions at the top. And more inscription you can see going on to the wall to your right, though you have to step in to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going in.
All
Yeah.
right. Your party begins to head inside. All
How
you
dark
see,
is it in here?
it is dark. It is dim light at the very entrance, but by the time you're at these doorways, pitch darkness.
Okay. Zal is going to see on how dark he gets further in, and then he's going to finally put those glasses back on. He now has a 60 feet range of dark vision.
All right. Well, your party enters inside, walking closer to this 3 doorway structure. Eventually, finding the way, you note that the inscriptions are in languages some of you might not understand. Who here speaks Celestial?
I don't think anyone does.
I'm looking for it.
If you don't, no one knows what this says.
I speak multiple languages, but I don't think that is one of them.
Yeah, Celestial is definitely not one of the ones I know.
I
Common,
speak
Elvis,
giant.
Orcish, Infernal, Celestial, Thieves can't.
Is that all you know?
That's all I know.
You said celestial in that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said celestial.
I said,
Oh
like,
yeah,
why
Common,
is that
Elvis,
an
Orcish,
issue?
Infernal, Celestial, Thieves can't.
Okay.
It's
Uh,
Faye's like a linguist.
I don't know why you know thieves can't, but
It's I forgot. It's part of my the Wildmount
Yeah,
stuff,
probably the Hero Chronicle.
Hero
Yeah, the Hero
Chronicles.
Chronicle stuff.
okay. Well, you reading this are one of the first ones to know more or less actually what it says, and actually take any notes about it. You read through the first one, and it says, "We are blind." The second room says, "We cannot act righteously," and the last one says, "Unless we hear their word."
So the first door says they cannot see, so blind. Second one says they cannot act righteously. Third one says about his command. Three,
The last one says, "Without hearing their righteous word."
without hearing their righteous word.
So we have a vague, cryptic message, I see.
I'm assuming they're blind because of the first one. And they cannot act righteously.
Okay, so assuming we take in the words, the blind one might be somewhat of a neutral stance. Uh, the middle one, probably someone who is more selfish. And the right one, I guess, is more, lawful. But that's what I'm suggesting just from hearing the words. I'm not sure what they could mean, but it's a guess, I guess you could say.
Hmm. I say we go through the first door. I think we go through them all. Left to right.
Well, let's not just haphazardly go in there.
Oh, we don't have
And
anything
then
else
Zal,
to learn?
Zal's gonna look at Kotaro. Kotaro, do you have any inkling on what this could mean?
Off the top of my head, no. Let me think. Um, is there any way that I can make like a history check or a religion check to maybe think of what this is?
Uh, make, well, not really religion. I would say make a history check.
Yeah, I said religion because of it being celestial.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot of religious notes. There's nothing telling you anything about this yet.
Yeah, okay. All right, boys, my first roll of the session. It's not the first roll of the session, but it's mine. Let's see how my luck's gonna be. What is that? It's a 13.
13.
Plus what? Or is that just it?
It's 10 plus 3, 13.
Oh.
The only thing you know is that long time ago there were a bunch of gods. This might be some sort of underground hidden cult or location for them. Who knows?
That is a good speculation.
Alright.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I just say
Alright
sprint and go
then.
through every door, left to right. Sorry, I'm the blind one.
Zal's gonna think for a second. I don't want to use this so soon, but and it's gonna be kind of morally wrong, but don't worry about it. And then Zal's gonna take one of these bags, take one of the bag of tricks that he has. And he's gonna pull something out of there.
I don't know.
Okay. Roll on your
Can I
table.
join? Can I join you on this? I have something I would like to use.
Uh,
I have
I
the
mean,
exact dice for it.
if you want to, I don't know what you're going to be using.
You'll see. You'll see. I do have a
Oh, that.
D34. Look at that.
Okay, so when Zal picks something out of this like, almost empty bag
Okay.
that seems to have stuff in it, a small fuzzy object that's like very like super small, like he's holding it with just only his index and his thumb. He then throws it out, and from the ball appears a fucking full-on jackal.
One second, I gotta read this.
I don't know how big a jackal is. Is it a relatively small
Oh!
creature? I forget what a jackal is at the moment.
Give me a second. Jackal
Uh-oh.
is a small beast.
Okay.
So, Sean, you pulled out a jackal, right?
Yeah.
I pulled a beholder.
What?
No.
Deck
No,
of
you
Illusion.
didn't.
Deck of Illusions is 15.
Oh, they're pulling a deck of illusions.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm using Deck
Okay.
of Illusions,
That's what that
and I
was.
I
pulled
was
a
about to say, I'm
beholder.
like, no, you didn't,
No,
Damien.
beholder. It's from Deck of Illusions.
Okay. You pull out a card of yours as well, and as soon as you do, a beholder up slowly floats up behind you guys as if it was always stalking you in the shadows.
Zal,
Oh,
Zal's
hello
gonna
there,
see,
friend.
Zal and the jackal are gonna like turn around. It's like what the fuck? Zal's gonna immediately pull out his hammer. His
Hey,
ball.
no, he's friendly. He's friendly towards us. Hello.
Do you know what this is?
Yes, it's a beholder. I look at the card that like shot him out. See, it's just a beholder. Come on, go to that door.
Zal just like shakes his head and puts his thing back on. But the jackal seems highly unconvinced as it's just still growling at it.
The
Alright,
beholder
go through the
slowly
door.
floats his way through one of the closed doorways.
The jackal's gonna go down the somewhat neutral one, the one where it says they're blind.
That's the same one the beholder's going to.
Never mind. He's gonna go to the he's gonna go to the righteous one, the righteous words one.
Okay, the order it goes is we are blind. We cannot act righteously unless we hear their word. We are blind is farthest left unless we hear their word is farthest right. You're both saying repeatedly middle. You just described middle 2 times.
Okay, I'm gonna head. My jackal's gonna head right. Damon's gonna head left.
Okay. Your jackal, are you going to open the door for the jackal? There is a small wooden door, but it doesn't seem to have any locks on it.
Yeah, Zal's gonna like take his hammer and just like gently try to open the door for it.
You use the edge of your hammer to butt it open. And it gives way, probably dry rotted with age, fairly easily. And as you open it up, the jackal slips inside. The far right one, I think you said.
Yep.
And as the jackal slips inside, you no longer hear it as it leaves the area. And nothing seemingly happens. But the jackal went inside.
All right, the jackal's gonna Zal's gonna try and have it speak to it or try to speak to it. So does it give a yelp back, like a little
Nope.
yelp or something? No. Okay.
I don't say nothing, and you don't hear nothing from the inside. It's just in there.
Do I don't see it, do I?
It's dark in there. How much light does your torch give? Or your light?
60 feet dark vision.
Eyes. No. You gaze inside and see a hallway. Probably not really a hallway, more like a large rectangle-shaped chamber. And on the inside, you note fine filigreed pillars and items of good, well-made worked stone. Uh, in this, however, you gaze inside, don't see any hyena. It either sprinted in this hallway or just vanished.
Right. Okay. So, Faye, how's your doing?
I'm about to go do that, and I'm gonna open the door for him.
You open it up, the holder floats inside. Doesn't seem to react anyway. It is non-sentient. It's an illusion. But
I know.
nothing jumps out to attack it either.
Can I see anything in there?
What would jump out to attack a beholder? I'd be pieces.
Basic.
I
That's
don't
what I
know,
was
man.
thinking.
Is there anything in the room I can see in besides for the beholder in
You
there?
see similar to Zal, fine stonework. However, you also see what looks to be inside this room more writing, though you're not sure exactly what the writing says. There's more runic stuff that seems to be carved into the sides of these locations, like not these pillars. There is money in here, not too much though, like little piles of gold on altar, like on small little altar devices that are runed up a little bit. You know there's a pool of stagnant blood in here somewhere because you can like taste and smell the copperiness of the sitting blood, but you're not able to get probably further than your normal 60 foot of vision. Uh, Eldarin could probably look in and see the end. And when he does so, I mean, just simply gazing in for a moment, you know that this actually goes on it goes on even further than 120 feet. You know that there's obviously either a reason for the construction not wanting you to see the other end or something like that. There's probably a good reason they're not wanting you to see all the way to the end.
Yeah, this room has blood and gold in it.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, but we can't see the end of the wall, even our draw friend here. I think before we go in, we should
Right.
open the middle door first, and then we should choose.
Right.
I can pull
Uh,
another. We can both pull another thing each, can't we?
I'll do it. It seemed like yours ain't really too much, and my jackals seem to have disappeared. I don't know if he's coming back or not.
Hmm.
So, Zal's
Rest
just
in
gonna pull
peace.
out another thing. Rest in peace, jackals. You will not be missed.
R.I.P. Jackal, you lasted less than 5 minutes.
Ooh.
Can we get I am the storm? Wait, I forgot the name of the song.
I
Yeah,
am.
can we get that
Bury,
for the jackal?
bury the light. The jackal
Yeah,
comes back
bury
as a
the light.
god. Okay, so Zal does the same thing with his tannish bag, but then this time instead of pulling out a jackal, he pulls out a giant hyena. The
Hyena?
giant hyena, yeah, hyena, an
Hyena.
actual hyena this time. Shut up, hyena. Don't go care.
Uh, so the large hyena creature immediately yips as it is created and just kind of is looking at Zal for confirmation of what to do. It looks extremely out of place in an environment like this.
Yeah. Zal's gonna tell it to go inside this one room, but when he walks in like far enough, just give like a chuckle or something. And Zal's gonna open the door with his hammer again, just to make sure there's like no booby traps for him.
You force open the door. No booby traps go off. The wood isn't even enchanted to sustain itself. And the hyena jumps in, glancing around at the warning. The hyena is a creature of very low intellect, so doesn't really see the value in monetary gain. However, you note that when you look inside this, just from the very entranceway, you already see probably 30 platinum. That's a lot of platinum maybe another 100 gold scattered around on little altars and platforms that
Right.
raises it. You see cut gems and the such, and you also know a similar coppery smell in the air. Likely a stagnant blood pool somewhere in sacrifice to something.
Oh wait, did
Uh,
we smell that in the other one?
in
In the
the
righteous one?
it was I am blind room, the room where you're not like Damien gazed in and saw some pieces of gold and smelled the copper, which is the blood
Okay.
pool, and
So,
yours is in the middle as well. The far right's
alright,
the only one
okay.
you didn't note that in.
Okay, so we didn't smell blood in that one. Okay, that's a good thing to think of. But Zal's gonna like tilt his head a little bit. He obviously sensed that this is probably trapped if he does this. But Zal's gonna have the hyena like pick up a piece of the platinum.
And hyena picks it up in its weird jaws.
What? How do you have a?
He has a magic item.
Yep.
It's called the bag of tricks. He has a certain number of pulls, and he's already using them.
Oh,
I think
Alright,
it's
so
per
nothing
day or something. I
happens.
don't know.
Yeah, it's per dawn.
But he picks it up and doesn't seem to have anything.
Okay. Zal's just gonna, or the hyena's just gonna come back after Zal's ordering him. He's not. The hyena's gonna throw the platinum away though, just in case, because that could be a cursed object, and I don't want to touch that thing.
Toss the
Uh,
platinum.
yeah.
Is it coming
Okay,
back towards you?
so
Identify it.
yeah, it's coming back.
As it begins to make its way towards you, that door, that wooden door you propped open, creaks shut again. Semi-forcefully. Still driftwood, almost, it looks at least. But when you go to reopen it to make sure the hyena can get out, it's almost as if you're pushing against something solid, like solid stone. The driftwood almost seems like petrified in an instant. And the hyena on the other side, I mean, you're blind. We cannot. Okay. He begins to yelp slightly, but only for a second, only for a moment. You hear like one yelp, more of surprise than of pain, and then nothing after that.
Open the door.
A few moments later, actually about a full minute later, the door does creak back open, with the
The
force
hyena
of
there.
sound. Hyena is not there.
Is okay. Okay.
And now
Huh.
with this, I want the werewolf, since you're the one with high-end senses, make a perception check for me.
hey, you know what's cool?
You have advantage on smell.
I get it. I get advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, these animals are full and dead.
Give me a second because I completely forgot what my perception was. Wrong character.
Let's be real. Orion and Beale, the same guy.
Not really.
Lie to us, Chase.
What?
Don't lie to us.
They're not the same.
Deception.
Yeah, roll a deception check, Chase.
Making an insight check.
Here, I'll roll my deception real quick.
Why are you rolling deception? What?
I'm deceiving the party members.
Oh,
Wow.
that's high.
All right.
I was making a joke. I got a 15.
All right.
15. You can sense a renewed sense of copper in the air. Faintly, but there is more copper in the air now, and it's newer.
I kind of like. Is it fresh?
Yes, this is likely fresh blood. You
Okay.
can get.
So I kind of tilt my head side to side, sniffing there, and I go, I smell fresh blood. Keep your guard up.
I think your ancestor died.
That door.
I think we don't go. I think we go to the left door because even though my beholder didn't get anything happening to him, it's the only one that hasn't vanished.
Yeah, but there's also an illusion. Keep that in mind.
How do you know that?
But
Your kid
okay.
doesn't know.
So
Your
is
kid
that?
doesn't know that unless you make a check.
Man, he saw you draw the card.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
you literally showed him the cards. Like, yeah, he's a friend, guys. Here's a card to prove it.
Yeah, but still,
And it faded away before him, unless it's still active.
it's active. It doesn't fade.
Oh.
Well, you showed a card to me anyways. Al has at least some intellect.
Nope.
All right. But oh, go on. Go.
Let me bust out the hat of disguise.
I don't know how that's gonna be useful.
Top hat, Kotaro.
I'm going through the left one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna follow Damien.
So I was
Alright.
just gonna watch.
Wait, why don't we just put the animal in there first and just see if they die too?
I have mage hand. I can like put my hand in there.
I got
No.
one. I got one more. I'll just waste it. It's not gonna be able to use these guys too much anyway.
Alright.
So you pull one more animal, and you're gonna throw it
Yeah.
in the first door?
Lambs to the slaughter. Quite literally.
You get a lamb.
Second. No, 'cause I don't know what I got. I have to look back at it. Okay, so Zal pulls out a pulls out the thing, throws it, and then a baboon appears, staring curiously at everyone else.
I just Orion, as soon as it gets popped down, just jumps back and just hits someone. And goes monkey.
It's a baboon.
Get your damned pet away.
Alright.
Throw it
you
in
have
there.
a baboon looking curiously around.
Throw it in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, Sal's gonna tell the baboon to go to it. The baboon goes "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh," and then just like starts walking towards the door.
The baboon enters and very quickly grabs its eyes and like rubs at them and then looks around confused. His eye is not really focused on anything. And just starts feeling around the room.
Okay.
Almost
I'm
as if-
so glad we
almost
didn't
as
go
if
in
he's
there.
blind at the moment.
Okay.
No, that would have been pretty funny though.
Tell them to grab some of the
We all
gold.
just lost our eyesight.
One thing you did know is before he clawed at his eyes, he had looked at a pile of sparkly jewels and money and began to walk toward it. One thing you noted.
Okay. All right. So Zal's just gonna like look at the baboon and just like gently close the door. All right. Well, I think the best place to go is the far right one, as the middle one's deaf, the other one we're blind, and we don't really know what happened to the jackal on the right one, so we're gonna have to go that way.
Yeah, it full on vanished.
Sal, remind me to never let you take care of one of my pets.
So I was gonna look at Kotaro. I was like, "Oh no, I care for animals, but to be quite honest, I don't know if these are true animals or magical animals. I mean, they came out of a bag."
You hear the baboon yelp in pain and then go
I
quiet.
open the door.
You try and open the door and it's petrified shut for a minute. And then the door creaks open, no baboon in sight, with a slight more sense of caution in the air.
Alright, so we didn't smell blood from the far right door, but it full on vanished. The other two kills you. I agree with Zal. We go
Yeah.
to far right.
Look, I care a lot about animals, but to be fair, it's kind of necessary.
I think they are real animals if they're making blood. If they die and they smell blood. Pretty sure these are
Listen,
real
Yeah,
animals.
too.
That is
No
true, but I can.
bias to that. We need to get through. No more talking about animals.
Yes.
Let's get through the door.
just-
Go on the other side.
Yeah, and Zal's gonna head to the safety door.
Alright, so you're heading to which door again?
Far
The
right.
far right one.
Far right?
No, Trent, I want to go down the middle one so I can die.
Alright. How many of you are going to try and enter the far right room?
I guess all of us.
Yeah, I'm going in first.
As you begin to step in,
Yeah.
nothing seems to happen. Your party begins to pile into this room. Once you notice, by the time you really notice, because no one decided to make any investigation checks, you have 3 members of your party in. Who would be the first 3 to enter?
I said I was going first.
Uh,
I'm going
Zal
in
can go
last.
in second. Okay, so that's us.
That's us
So
three.
it would have been Faye,
Faye, Sal,
Zal,
and
and who?
Kotaro.
Kodoro said
Kotaro.
last.
Kotaro.
Yeah,
Oh,
you mean the last of the 3 or the last of total?
No, I'm going last total.
Oh,
So
okay.
Okay.
Who's
it's
going third then?
Eldrin or Orion. Which of you two are going in?
I'm going second to last.
Okay, so I'll go.
Eldrin.
So it's Eldrin.
Okay, Eldrin. As the 3 of you enter, the door forcefully, with the strength of a giant, attempts to close in behind you. As runes around the door spark and glow in a burst of flashing color.
Wait, did it say the door starts to close?
It is going to close forcefully unless somehow you stop it.
Alright.
Okay. I'm going
Zal, hold on. Okay. Zal's gonna immediately, like, go into, like, a focused state, raging. And then he's going to try and, like, stop the door from closing with him. So do I make an athletics check?
Yeah.
BL, you can help if you want to.
Why don't I just put like the iron door or the portable ram in front of it?
That might not work.
Which you have time to position it.
You call
Yeah.
me BL.
I'd probably make
Okay.
a good dex check to do it.
So, I already have advantage on it, so BL, you could probably do your
Well,
own
it would
thing.
take an action to even summon the item, so you wouldn't have time. I'm just saying you wouldn't have time to position
I
it.
wouldn't have the time. Okay.
No, because it's meant to be a near instant reaction, and that would be an action and positioning.
Okay,
Okay.
question.
My axe counts as a magical weapon, right? Or like a magical item.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put my axe in the way of the closing door to like keep it from going completely closed.
I want you to make probably just a dex check to try and get quick enough.
And should I make an athletics check, Trent?
Yeah, you're making athletics in case he fails, because you don't necessarily know he's trying to do this until he does it.
Okay,
Okay.
but I was helping him with his athletics, so advantage. Right? That can help.
I mean, he already has
I mean-
advantage.
Yeah, because
Oh.
I
I
raged.
rolled that too.
Okay, so so mine's a
Legendary.
17.
Legendary.
Stinky boy you are.
So
Stinky.
17 on Zal's side.
Uh,
What was Kotaro's check?
4.
Okay. Kotaro, you quickly try and shove your axe in the way, but it kind of like just gets pushed aside as you're not strong enough to shove it deep enough in to keep it positioned. Zao, you grip and you begin to slide with it. You're delaying it enough where everyone could jump out but you if they wanted to.
I won't leave you behind, Sal. I'm staying with you.
You're on the other side of the door. It's not you that has that decision.
I'm gonna.
It's Eldrin
Uh,
and Faye that have the decision to jump through the door and go back to the main way with you and Orion.
I'm gonna try
So can
to.
I jump in?
I would let
You
one
can.
jump in, yes.
I'm gonna jump in, bro.
Leaving
I'm
Orion behind?
Wait. Are we gonna just close the door on them?
That sounds like a him problem. That sounds like a
That's
him
fair.
Okay. You're going to leap in exchange of them jumping out. Kind of forcing everyone to stay inside in a weird roundabout way. You're
We're
now
not trying to hold the door
inside
more?
as the door slams shut.
Damn, never mind.
Are you trying to leave, Damien? Is that what you said?
I was asking if there was any way to keep the door from shutting still, like making us
Not
keep going.
really.
Because he delayed it for us going through, so maybe we can just keep pushing the door open, but I guess not.
It only would have worked if like Kodro would have kept, or if someone else would have had a magic weapon to shove in. I think the only other person is Zal that
Me.
has a magic weapon.
I have magic. My arm's magical.
Are you going to shove your arm between the
No.
door and the wall.
Actually, my shield. I have 2 shields. One counts as magical.
If you want to try and do that and like shove it over the head of Kotaro as he enters, I'll let you make an acrobatic or dex check. Just dex check.
No, I'm gonna use the sword because the sword I don't use anymore. I have a shield and a sword. I made +1s, and I'm gonna use the +1 sword
All right.
because Kuro is using like wasting that +1 armor. So what do I need to roll?
Just a dex check. Straight
A dex
dexterity.
check, so +5. Where's my D20? Nope. Wait, that's not cocked. It looks a little, but I don't. Would you
No,
count that as
that's
guys?
that's obvious what it is. What's that on the
Okay.
top? 9?
No, it was a 3. It was like
3?
this.
Okay.
It was like this.
I couldn't
So
tell if it
no.
was 8, 9, or 6, or 3, or what, but I knew it
Yeah.
was one of those.
It's tilted, but yeah, it
No,
counts as
you
3.
you
So that's
try
an
and
8.
shove your sword in, and you immediately have to recoil because as soon as you try and slide the sword into slot, you notice that the door is not going to stop, especially with the little force that the sword would give. And if anything, it's going to cut your sword through the stone. But if that doesn't happen, as the sword's edge is like forcefully shoved back towards you, you are forced to react and recall your sword without, or to not cut yourself.
I guess we're all gonna die here now.
You're on the inside.
Or the
So,
one's gonna be dead.
Orion, I'm going to jump back to you. What are
Right.
you doing as the door slams shut and Faye jumps in? And you're the only one outside right now.
I'm gonna go. What are they doing? Well, uh, shit. And then he's just gonna look around and try to see, like, I guess stand guard.
Alright, you're just going to be guard outside of this place?
Hey, bro, I'm gonna be posted up.
Okay, you're just watching. Make a perception check.
You know what I get with them little perception checks of mine? Yeah. Got really cool. Nat 20.
Alright, you are keeping the keenest of eyes. Jumping
Am I
back to the party on the inside.
sniffing the deepest smells, bruh?
Uh, you are now in this pitch dark room, and the only reason any of you can see is if you have dark vision. I think the only
We
one
all
that
do.
can't see is Kotaro. Kotaro's a human.
Yeah, I'm the only fellow that can't see.
So right
Damn.
now, Kotaro is blind in this pitch room. Everybody else has relatively simple visuals. Eldrin, I want you to make a perception check because you're the only one that has far enough vision to have chance to see anything that's actually far enough away to be a threat.
Okay.
If you have no skill in it, it's wisdom modifier, plus proficiency if you have skill, or not proficiency if you don't.
Oof, that's okay. So I have a 13 in wisdom. So
That means
what
you
would
have
that
plus
be?
1.
Okay. So 4.
All right. You are super keeping a keen eye, 100%. You definitely know what's going on in here, totally. It's real dark. There's a lot of like very basic stonework around. Can't really see anything beyond that though. And you begin to see artwork in the area. What is your party doing? Eldrin?
Does any of this like artwork have any like words like the other or anything?
All right. Now make an investigation check. As you begin to look around, and it's hard to really spot. The only reason you have to make this investigation check is because there is no light. There is no color to this artwork. All of this artwork is in grayscale to you. As using dark vision, it is near impossible to discern colors. So you're going to
Okay.
have to try and find this writing either in the grayscale or with scratching. So investigation.
I'll give him an advantage because obviously Zal's going.
So I
So
rolled 9.
Yeah,
you can roll
advantage.
again. Yeah, so you can
Okay.
roll again.
Alright.
Okay.
Tired.
Yep. Can I roll again or?
You only rolled 2 times.
Yeah. So
With advantage, you got double rolls, more or less. What's your total there with the highest?
The highest one I rolled is an 11.
11.
Yeah.
Any bonus? Was that before or after investigation bonuses?
I think that's before. How do I find my
Intelligence
investigation?
modifier.
Okay.
The way you're calculating modifiers, by the way, more or less, 10 is plus 0, 12 is plus 2, 14 is... No. 10 is plus 0, 12 is plus 1, 14 is plus 2. Basically, every 2 numbers above
Okay.
10, you get a bonus of 1 on that modifier.
Okay.
So what's
I
your
have a-
intelligence?
I have a 16, so it'd be 11 plus 3. That's 14.
3. Are you proficient in investigation?
I do not think so. It's on one of my skills, so yeah, I think so, yeah.
Alright, so that's a plus 5 in total. So that's 16, which is actually far better than 11. Looking around in this very dim grayscale looking wall that you're seeing artwork all around, you get the gist is artwork is something to do with fire. A lot of the motions and flicks of the wrist and marks of the brush or whatever, it looks like it was trying to imitate fire and catches your mind as some common works might do the same. Finding the hidden words, however, you quickly understand that there is pieces to this that you don't quite understand, unless you speak Celestial.
No.
You can see markings, and the only reason you even know that they're Celestial and they're words is because you saw them in the room behind you. And you begin to piece together places where you see similar markings as you saw in the room before. Faye, you can walk over and
I'll try reading them, yes.
on the
Yes.
inside, you not on the inside, but on the inside of this room, yes, you see the Celestial is written. Hear his word and never leave. Or hear his word and never leave. Be shackled for eternity. One with the gods. Hear his word and never leave. Be shackled for eternity with the gods. And that is written several locations up and down this arc.
I'm gonna point them all out, saying the exact same things every time, letting everybody know what it says. We might want to get out of this room, guys.
Right.
From
Okay.
those words that I can definitely see, that sounds bad.
Definitely. Zal's just gonna like try and look around. Zal's gonna try and look for like any way out.
I mean, are you gonna start filling around the room's walls?
Well, I don't have to feel around the room's walls technically.
And I mean, unless you're doing that though, I'm just gonna say there is no obvious
Okay.
or
Okay. So
semi-hidden
I'm just gonna.
things.
Okay. I'm just gonna fill the walls then.
Yeah, you're gonna be spending a good portion of time feeling for any crevices that might give you a hidden passageway. Then, make
Okay.
an investigation check.
All right. And as Zal's doing this, he's gonna look over at Kotaro as he did help. He did help Eldrin like feel around the paintings, feeling the fire, feeling like the fiery type kind of stuff. Zal's gonna look at Kotaro's like, Kotaro, you know how to do fire magic best, correct?
You want me to set something on fire?
Not right now, just keep it in handy in case I can't find anything. I want to make an investigation check.
Oh, don't
I'll make
tease
it.
me like that.
Don't tease me!
Uh,
Can I give him advantage?
if you're helping, yes.
Yes, I will help.
All right.
Okay.
You begin to spend your portion of time here as well, filling the crevices in the rock.
17, Trent.
Looking around, there might be hidden passages in here. It'd be really hard to find, though. And in this darkness, especially, even with your magical glasses, it isn't helping. Because technically in dim light, you do still have disadvantage on investigation checks. Forgot to have you guys roll for that. But from now on, I'll remember that dim light still requires disadvantage on investigation checks. Filling around, however, yeah, solid chance you're not going to find anything. Unless there is, for some reason, hidden passage you don't know about, but this doesn't seem like the kind of place that people go to visit, and therefore need those.
Okay. As Zal took his time to do this, Zal's gonna go over to Kotaro, gently put a hand on his shoulder. Right, could you light a torch or something? Get some light in here. Maybe that would help us a lot.
Well, do you have... Actually, I might have a torch. One sec.
I mean, you have a
Most
Tinder
of you should
kit, don't you?
have a torch.
Yeah.
Tinder kit's not
I'm
what
just-
you need for a torch, but most of you should.
Yeah, I
just because you
have
those.
10 torches, bro. I pull out one of my 10 torches that I for some reason have, and and like you see like little flames dancing on the end of Kotaro's fingertips, and he holds them up to the torch, and they all kind of like jump off like they're sentient, like they're all jumping off in lines onto the torch, and it slowly lights the torch ablaze. All right, what am I lighting on fire?
Alright, let's hope that this light might bring some light on the subject. Zal says, is he trying to make a pun? Play on words.
And looking around this little entrance area, you notice that this is all far more visible, both because you're humans and require light to see, but also because of the color that is immediately brought to the room. Being before just looking in and seeing all this fine stonework, you couldn't quite tell until you entered that was artwork. And now, even then you couldn't quite tell the detail and intricacy of it. It looks like a partially maintained, partially not, fantastic artwork that sprawls probably the entire room. And you know from just where you are here at this entranceway, seeing no more than 120 feet down the hall, which it still extends beyond, by the way, though you're assuming not by much. You know that the artwork has at least 3 distinct areas to it. One of which you can only see half of, because it's heading down the hall further. But right here, you see what looks to be a creature covered in fire. Almost like a man spreading his arms with fire like napalm dripping down, forming like makeshift wings. You see somewhere else the two sections on opposite walls connecting to form the second part of this artwork. And the second part, you see a man clawing at his face, revealing what looks to be embers and fire beneath his skin. And the other part, what looks to be a legion of people who have already done that. And those are the 2 main sections. One of those, like, last 2, the legion of ashen people and the man clawing his face to reveal the fire and ash, are obviously connected in a time frame because they're across from each other. And the man holding his napalm arms is, like, over the doorway and the entire back wall, which is, like, 80 foot across.
I see. Someone had a peculiar taste. Okay, I have a very good inkling that it might be something to do with these paintings.
You begin to hear
Um,
fire separate from your own. Now that you've lit a fire, seems that you're more acclimated to the noise, which is kind of odd. Uh, that or it just began. And you begin to hear fire the far end of the room.
Okay, that's not a good sign. We need to get to going. Check these paintings, see if
I want
there's
to tap
like
on the
a.
paintings.
You tap on them.
Yep.
Feels like thick paint, as if someone have added layers and layers of it on top of the original. But nothing happens.
I cannot scratch it off.
You can if you would like. The only thing you know is just by touching it though, without scratching it off, is it's slightly warm to the touch, almost if the stone itself is warm-ish.
Screw it. I gotta scratch this off. I don't want to be next to that fire.
You scratch off the paint, and beneath it, you see another layer. This is probably not the last one though, and scratching it off as much as you can over the doorway, just to reveal this next layer. You see what looks to be a giant worm of sorts, but with a human's face and hundreds of arms, all clawing and grasping at what looks to be the artistic rendition of a massive underground cavern. You're going to scratch away to the next layer after that?
Wait, so is the fire still going after that?
Yeah, it's not like a raging fire. It just sounds like a campfire in the distance. Probably maybe halfway across the room.
Thank God. I was scared that like every time I saw a creature, because the first one was like a fire wolf thing that was gonna like, show that monster. I was like, a purple worm, we're gonna be killed. Yeah, I'm gonna keep scratching.
Yeah, after revealing the snake-like worm creature with a man's face and human arms, you scratch away to the final one and see what looks to be a snake of sorts, though obviously extremely long, and with artist renditions of ships, revealing how massive this is meant to be in scale to the world. And it's almost like a world overview drawing with like dots for ships that are really tiny and little islands for continents. And the entire what would be sea is filled with looping and interlooping snake things, all with eyes in various shapes and sizes, though mostly glowing a dull yellow. Like, not actually glowing, but the paint reveals it's meant to be, kind of thing.
Can I scratch off that one?
You scratch off that one and see it remains just stone behind.
Okay. Alright,
Paint's gone. Stone is hot.
Alright,
The
so
stone is
Zal's
not
gonna.
hot, it's just a gentle warmth.
It shouldn't be warm anyways. It's warm.
Okay, so Zal's gonna see what Faye's doing. Look at the other paintings. How many other more paintings are there besides the one that Faye just?
Since you can only see about halfway through this full tunnel, you saw two that were meant to be like completed paintings, and a half of another one that fades into darkness from your vision.
Okay.
The other two was the next completed painting you saw was on two opposites wall from each other, and it was a man clawing at his face, revealing fire and ash. And across from him was a legion of people who had already turned to ash and were like walking ash creatures and flame.
Okay, so there's obviously a story here that we need to. Zal's gonna walk down to the further side of the place to see if he can find any more paintings.
As you begin to head down to the room, you reveal the final painting that you can see. The rest seemingly incomplete, as you do see scratchings and brushings of more, but none that are really decipherable as anything. And the final one, more or less, shows the world as ash. Like, the same way the people were a legion of ashmen. It was like it was a very zoomed in drawing of Exandria, where there were like cities marked out, and it's like little bubbles that pop out to show a city wreathed in fire. Several locations all across the globe. Uh, and in extreme detail, like cities like Nicodranas is one of them that you see wreathed in fire. These people knew the cities of the time. These look like ancient cities though, like the founding of Nicodranas, the founding of XY kind of thing, And
I make
you
a
even
history
know
check.
one of them is meant to be floating, like you see it just not like it's disconnected to the ground, and you hear references to names like Aor, which you've heard about in a near wild amount, but like other names you have no clue about that are ancient and beyond your current understanding. Um,
Can make a history check.
what are you trying to make it for?
See what if these remind me of anything. If I
Hi-
recognize any of this.
history, I guess. History or religion, depending on what you're trying to find. Are you looking at like what these creatures depicted are, or the world map that Zal is looking at?
World map.
Okay, that would be history then.
Zal's gonna wait. Okay,
24.
so I'll let you guys do this.
24.
You know that these are obviously, with your readings, yes, ancient cities. These are more or less ancient depictions of these cities. Post calamity and when they were first being built, more or less. Like this is obviously after, but not very long after the calamity, when peoples just scattered and re-expanded. Nicodranus is far smaller than it is today and has a far different archetype style, more feudalist Japan, if you would guess. The floating cities, you mark Aor as one of them, being shown wreathed in flame. That one is from before the calamity. Obviously a powerful city that the mages would have flying around. Hard to imagine, but it did exist at one point. You see several others, and yes, there are obviously other flying cities. You can see that, but also all across the world. They're from other continents. There's not really any direct historical value to any of this. It just these places. You know that this is meant to be the entire world and at different stages. But only one thing stands out. Rexingtrum looks to be far more recent. And the painting of Rexingtrum, is not of ancient time, and is likely no more than a few years old, at most. Hard to tell, but that doesn't look like ancient Rexingtrum. That looks like today's Rexingtrum.
Oh no.
Another thing you also know is that the city of Rexingtrum is seemingly less wildfire wreathed in flame and more like its walls are like doused with it. Like if someone had put gasoline over the walls of something and lit it on fire willingly. Almost as if they're using the fire as a defense more than breathed in flame.
I will relay the information.
All right, that's foreboding. All right, this has got to tell a story. There's maybe a certain arrangement of these paintings, and you said like one of them was floating.
Mm-hmm.
There's several cities that are like obviously cities disconnected from the earth.
I was saying like one of the paintings were floating.
No, it's meant to be a floating city. It's not actually hovering anywhere.
Okay, Zal's gonna like look at the paintings and try to rearrange them in a way that the story would make sense.
Okay, you look at the paintings, piecing together the images you saw when Faye scratched them from the very first area. The only thing you can note is likely that whatever that being was next to the doorway convinces a person or a bunch of people to become an Ashen Legion, and together they destroy the world. It seems to be chronologically already written.
Oh, okay.
There isn't any way to move them around either, and at this point, The smell of smoke reaches your ears more fervently as it's spread around a little bit in this enclosed chamber. And not too far away, you had to walk maybe 30 foot from the entrance and the rest of your group to see this. At the very, like, probably 120, nah, probably close, further than that. Probably about 240 foot down the cavern, you now notice that campfire that you saw before. And it looks just to be a camp. In the middle of this cavern, you couldn't even see the light when you heard the campfire originally. Now you can. It just seems like either the persons around it or the structures around it have moved enough for you to see it, or maybe you moved in relation to it. But now you just see the what looks to be camp, and you know a campfire with at least 3 bedrolls, if not more, hidden away from its bright light area. And you know it's burning. The campfire is burning low, but you actually actively see a form poking at it. Very thin, but they are poking at it, at the fire. They don't seem to notice
Zal-
you or care for what you're doing, though.
Okay, so Zal's just gonna like just stare at them. Uh, Zal's gonna like look back at Kotaro, Eldrin, and Faye. I think maybe we should talk to that guy.
Yep, I'm walking up.
You walk
Me
quickly
too.
across the darkened space. Zal and the rest of the party, I'm assuming, keeping close behind?
Zal's gonna
Yeah.
stay with the paintings.
Okay, Zal, you stay
I'm gonna
behind.
be like right up there with Phelan or
Alright.
Phalis. Sorry.
You and your party carries this torch quickly across the room. You now approaching closer, notice this man is extremely malnourished. And as you approach, still doesn't seem to be reacting, just has a stick in his hand and is mindlessly poking at the flames.
Buddy?
Doesn't
You okay
react to
there?
the voice.
I want to tap on the shoulder.
Tap on the shoulder, and his eyes pop open and shoot towards you, and he begins muttering under his breath. Not in a spell way or anything, just seemingly talking, though very quietly, toward you.
Can I try to see what he's saying?
Are you going to lean in, or you just want to make a perception check and keep your distance?
Give me a distance.
Alright, make a perception check. As do the rest of you. Each of you can make a perception check. I'll let everybody except Zal, because Zal stayed behind, make a perception here.
I
8.
was behind.
What?
I was the one that behind.
I'm saying Zal stayed
No,
next
Zal's-
to the paintings.
Oh,
By the way, Chase, you're gonna have to do something. Otherwise, you're just gonna stand here. I'm gonna alert you. There is, unless you go somewhere else, not a whole lot of way you're getting in there. Unless your party passes through this door and you do it with no information about what happened. Again,
I will. Okay.
17.
What are the other 2 rooms?
one of them, where it was, we are blind. We cannot act righteously without hearing his word. And they walked into without hearing his word. There is, we are blind and we cannot act righteously.
Which one's safer, guys?
They both
The one
kill
we
you
went
for
into.
money.
Yeah.
The,
That's what
the,
they
the other two
determined
kill
it
you
is.
if you touch money, so,
It's not necessarily
Yeah.
what you got from that, but
well, it's the only ones that had money in it, and they're the only ones that have killed you, so.
I'm gonna walk into the hearing one.
hearing's the one they're in.
Oh
You
God.
have blindness and action.
Action.
You're gonna walk into the action one.
Heck yeah.
All right. You walk into one of those rooms, but we'll jump back to you once the party's completed with their journey. I'm just saying, otherwise you're
Okay.
gonna sit here for 4 hours, because there's not a whole lot of way for you to pass through it without that.
Okay. BRB, I'm gonna go get some food because I'm hungry.
Okay. You walk up to the man and perception checks. What were they, Kotaro?
17.
I got a 9.
9. What about you, Eldrin?
I got 5.
5.
17.
That's actually not too bad. A 5's pretty okay. In this scenario, you hear the whispering and you focus in. Can't quite hear what he's saying. Kotaro, you do the same. Eldrin, you try, but you're too far away. The others are in front of you, after all. The fire is separating you from him. As you listen in, you hear him commenting endlessly. Forever with the gods. 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 And he just keeps repeating that.
This man's deranged.
Make a wisdom check, both of you. Save, specifically.
Which ones?
Saves. Us
Who's
two.
making
the,
them?
one, the ones that heard him.
Yeah, the ones who heard him.
Oh. Oh, no.
Uh,
Aren't
12.
wizards proficient in wisdom saves?
I don't know if wizards are proficient. Why don't you know if wizards are proficient?
That's a 12.
12. Okay.
That's a failure.
Yeah,
I know that for a
I'm gonna
fact.
say DC. I'm gonna just tell you it's 15.
I hit you.
I always make it 15.
I know you do.
14.
You
Woohoo!
failed.
You both
Oh
failed.
no.
And Eldrin, the oddest thing happens while you're trying to hear forever with the you're trying to hear what he's saying. Phaleth in front of you at first begins in a questioning tone. Forever with the gods? Forever with the gods? Kotaro asked the question again. Forever with the gods? And then they repeat it more. Yeah, forever with the gods. Yeah. And they just, forever with the gods. And they're like nodding along with it. You're right next to them. So I want you to make a wisdom save as they failed, and now you have to save against their statement, forever against the gods. Forever with the gods.
Oh God, no.
Okay, so what do I do for a
Just
wisdom save?
Roll a d20 and
Okay.
add your wisdom modifier. Because are rogues just dexterity and intelligence? I think so.
Yeah. So wisdom 13. So that means I got a
Plus
+1. So I rolled a 12 plus 1, 13.
Ooh, you begin in that same tone. Forever with the gods? Yeah, forever with the gods. 100%. Zal, are you here?
Yeah.
What are you doing when you stay with these paintings while your party wanders over to that campfire?
As I hear the harmonious tone, I'm not hearing the words as although
Too
it's
far
harmonious.
away, yeah, they're all real quiet.
Yeah. Oh, quiet. Okay.
Well, I mean, there's you can still hear the murmur and like like a conversation, but you're not sure if you're not hearing like repeating conversation or they're not harmonizing. They're just saying it like back and forth, quick conversation. And it's real hard to hear what they're saying, but you know they're talking about something over there, pretty fervently even.
Okay. Are they just sitting by the campfire, all three of them?
Kotaro and Thalith are both kind of like standing, leaning over with the torch, and Eldrin's kind of like just behind them. It's like they're like in a weird semicircle huddle with Eldrin in the middle, Kotaro on the right, and Thalith on the left, and the man's looking at them talking as well, poking the fire still, even though his head's locked on them.
Zal's going to just stare at them suspiciously, and then then see what Faye had did, and then start scratching all the paintings.
You begin to scratch these paintings. They're similarly thick, and the second completing painting, it is more of a... It's less of a man peeling his face off, and instead you see the world wreathed in what looks like maggots. And on the other side, you see what looks to be like a skeletal version of the world, as if it's picked clean of all it's worth. Scratching away another time. And also you do these with the paintings as well. You see each city is similar the same way. Rexingtrum is no different from the others, however, in these further paintings. They are similar to every other, and there's no outstanding features like being newer or anything. It does, after the first iteration, revert back to old world Rexingtrum. And the second layer of paintings, uh, you know that it is eyes. Instead of a man peeling his face away and it turns to a world covered in maggots, it turns back to what looks to be a sunken face, mostly pale and white. Uh, and for his eyes, they're two like deep set orange eyes, similar to the eyes that the serpent wore or wears still at the entryway. Across from him, it looks like a lot of sea creatures, anywhere from sea devils, which are common across the coast, to more tentacle-like creatures. That all of them having those orange-looking eyes. Each of them holding the Legion in this case, holding what looks to be a like endless armory of that same thing. They're each wielding like scimitars and falchions and great swords. Each of them have that, but all along those is like rivets, and any filigree that would be put in is all of like the pommels even is all of the eye repeatedly.
Is that all the paintings? I scrub all of them.
You scratch the last layer and it turns to stone as well. There seems to be 3 sets of paint here. The final one was the fire.
Okay. So there was fire. What were the other two?
Fire, the fire creature with the fire legion and the world in flames. The worm guy that has human appendages and a human face, with the world covered in maggots and a world picked clean. Then there is, instead of like the world wreathed in flame, it's the world like the cities desecrated and picked of every value, all very dull in color or whatever. The final one was a serpent covering like the entire world. A man with a very sunken faced man, almost like blubbery bluish skin, as if he's bloated in a way, but also sunk in death. With then the Legion, all of which with these eyes, and the final one with the cities or whatever, looks to be all of these cities are underwater.
So fire, water,
Worm.
worm.
It's like a fire creature, a worm creature, and a large serpent creature.
Okay, and Zal's gonna.
All the elements.
Okay, Zal's gonna look over at the group, specifically looking at the old man. Is the old man, or old person, whatever, the emancipated person that kind of looks similar to the guy on the paintings?
Not super particularly, no. He's geared in a similar way to you guys are. He looks like with his equipment, he would be of equal skill, maybe a little bit more so even than some of you.
There
guys.
wasn't a single hint of a flame in this room at all when we first entered, right?
Doesn't seem like or didn't seem like it. It might have been there, might have been blocked by something, but you didn't hear the fire. Seems like it was started while
Okay.
you were in the room.
Zal's just gonna like look over there. He has a off feeling about everyone like kind of like sitting at the fire and just having this conversation. Like none of them look at Coda. None of them look at Zal. Like they don't acknowledge that he's there.
No, they're just
Anymore,
kind of at this point looking at each other. Like the man's looking at them, they're looking at the man. And by the time you're done with the paintings, the man's turned back to the flames, and they are scattered around the campfire, resting easy as companions. And you know bed rolls, like I said earlier, and they like sit on top of those bed rolls. And when they do, as you look back toward them after with the paintings or whatever, you see that you like hear them sit on the bed rolls because you hear like the fabric is almost like cardboard, and you hear them sit on clanking bones that they don't seem to recognize it.
Oh, okay. Zal's just gonna stare at them and immediately kind of like panic. Uh, he was watching from afar, and at like at a certain range, he saw them kind of like just go into this crazy state. Zal at this point, he's gonna like look around, go through his bag a little bit, gonna find like a rag or two. He's gonna rip the rags up, and like start like twisting them in a way, and then plug them in his ears. But he's also going to close his eyes and just slowly but surely make his way towards the group.
Poking it forward with your hammer, using it as semi-echolocation, deafening and blinding yourself, you make your way towards the group. And eventually you note that you're there because you poke the old man to the side, which is looking at you again when you peek your eyes open.
So I was going to like think for a second, kind of getting a grasp of the old man being there. So I was going to put his hands on his hammer. Still with his eyes closed, but knowing that the old man's in front of him. Would you consider this prone, Trent? Because he is sitting down?
I'm going to say if you attack him, he is not going to resist in any way. And being
Okay.
as emaciated and semi-elderly as he is, you could just clobber him. You could just bonk his head one good time.
Yeah, Zal's going to do that.
Jesus Christ,
You
Zal.
bonk his head one good time,
Bro.
cracking him over to the school, and you feel the thud, and it's weird because it's not how bones normally feel. Like most people, their bones are stronger than that, and it feels more like you are hitting hay than you were hitting a person, as it like folds beneath your blow.
All right.
And yeah, he is likely laying there dead, though your eyes are still closed.
Okay, Zal's going to like just peek his eyes open. Do I have to make a wisdom saving throw, or am I fine?
You're fine. The man's
Okay,
there,
Zal-
but the party's still speaking the same
Alright.
Should
chant.
have hit him again.
Zal's going to see that, and can he feel like the bones are cardboard now since he's there?
You can like feel the bedrolls if you want, leaning down and touching them. It's like the fabric is, you understand now that you're looking at it so closely, filled with like dried blood. It's like, and the man sitting on his own bedroll the bedroll was already filled with dried blood, and now it's just caking his own onto it as he's there dead. And inside the bedrolls, the cracking you heard of bones, you understand there were skeletons inside these bedrolls when your party has sat down around it. Like, they are just there now.
Oh. How many bones? A lot, I'm guessing?
Pulling up one that like Phalith is sitting on, you know probably 4 skeletons worth of bones inside these bedrolls.
Okay. Alright. Zal's just there, go over to Eldrin, thinking that he might have a chance to wake up, and if for some reason that they attack him, he could probably handle the drow. He's gonna like crouch down, with his ears still covered, and he's just gonna like freaking smack Eldrin in the face.
You smack Eldrin across the face. Eldrin can't resist at the moment. He's incapacitated, and it's a matter of time before you hit him. I'm assuming you're just going to try and do 1 point of damage.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna add my strength mod to this.
You smack Eldrin across the face. Make another wisdom saving throw, Eldrin, as Zal smacks you across the face.
I was correct!
And jostles you out of your repeated chant by stinging your mouth.
Okay.
He fails.
Alright. He stutters for a second, but continues his mantra.
Right.
If you want to free these guys into his grasp, you also might want to drag them apart, you understand. As the man got them in this, and they're all sitting on the fire together.
Alright, I just wanted to see if it worked in the first place. It was a test run, guys. Alright, Zal's gonna look at Elder and is like, he's probably a lost cause. He's into it. He's going to go look at Kotaro. His what he considers a best friend. He's going to start dragging Kotaro backwards a little away from the campfire. But before he can like do anything, he's going to smack him across the face.
And Kotaro just limply follows along before he gets smacked in the side. Wisdom saving throw.
Yes, sir. That one piece.
God dang!
No, it's a 20.
Oh,
Okay, with a 20, you stutter, begin again, stutter once more, faltering, like you bite your tongue, and manage to stop the mantra, coming back to your senses. And the only thing you understand is during that mantra, you could have just done that. There's like an empty space. You don't even know what had just happened. All you know is you looked at a man, heard what he was saying, though you're not sure exactly what it was that he was saying, and just got smacked in the face by Zhao.
Sal, what are you doing?
Zhao hears the muffled screams of Kotaro.
You more
But
see his
Zhao's-
mouth than hear it, yeah.
Yeah, Zhao's just like Zhao's gonna like just point at his ears, and we'll like look at Kotaro. Don't go over to them unless you have earplugs. You were in a trance of some kind. I'm gonna try and wake up the others. Just be sure to put some earplugs on because I need to drag some of them, or at least one of them, away from here or from there, so they don't hear it. Just don't say anything about something. I don't know what it was. I couldn't hear it. And Zal's is going to go back over to the campfire. This time, picking up Phalif. Before he moves Phalif, he's going to see if Kotaro is going to heed his warnings.
Yeah, I'm not going over there. Actually, I could put that campfire out if you think it would help.
Maybe.
Because there seems to be a pretty big theme of like fire and stuff here.
So you control flaming or something to put the fire out?
Prodigy Station.
Right. The fire dims, darkens, and eventually goes out. You hear a small rumble and feel it like an earthquake beneath your feet, but not anything major and not unexpected for being under a volcano at the moment.
Uh-oh.
All right. Is Phalif and Eldrin still in this trance?
This can be a repeated process. This is something you know how to solve now. And as long as none of you do any rash actions, more or less, just Phalith and Eldrin, you guys can roll wisdom saves until you succeed, and how many times you roll is how many points of hit points you take. Where Zal has to freaking punch you over and
Pass.
over again to get you out of this.
That's a 15 save.
So you only take one more hit point of damage.
What was that for?
Zal's just going to keep his earplugs in and just do it to Eldrin.
Punching him as hard as he can several times.
Okay, he succeeded.
Okay. You take how many ever points of hit points you took to roll that.
That
It was
was
just only one.
Just one.
well. He got hit once before
was-
already.
Yeah, so
2 hit
So
points.
you're only down 2 hit points, which is not too bad.
Yeah.
But
Alright,
you guys wake up
Zal
with your mantra, yeah.
Why did you just
Yeah.
smack us all?
Zal sees that no one's chanting and everyone's back to their senses. He's gonna pull out his earplugs. Right. Old man's dead. Sorry about that. I thought he was a problem. Anyone else feel that rumbling?
No. No,
I mean, no.
did I not hear the rumbling? Because I was in the trance during that time.
Technically
Oh, isn't
true.
it? Oh, I thought the rumbling was happening still.
No, it's just like a jostle beneath your feet. The volcano isn't actively erupting or anything. It's just constantly moving.
And you said we can't move the paintings, right?
They were painted directly onto a stone wall that has no
onto
sliding no sliding factors or anything.
Okay. So since we're further in the room, is it just more stone walls?
Now that you have got to the halfway mark, you know that most of the normal things, like the fine filigree and the good pillars and fine stone and painting and all that is mostly gone. You do note scratchings of new paintings, uh, and the only thing you can get is it's similar but not completed. Like the one you note most obviously is all the way back to the serpent. They haven't even got past the first layer yet, as they were likely meaning to put 3 on all 3. You see things with water focus, blue colorations, waves, more serpenty looking stuff, but nothing's completed enough for you to get a gist of what it's meant to be in completion. And as you begin to traverse through this room, you know that that was likely the major challenge, and almost oddly, like you weren't really. It's almost like you weren't expecting it. As soon as the fireplace ends, it's maybe 30 feet to the door. It looked like it was a lot further. It looked like there was darkness that stretched further, but no more. Almost as if that fire was more a magical darkness creator than a light bringer. And
Can I
you
look at the body?
the door. You can look and loot at the body. Everything here is far beyond use. It is rusted and just kind of rotted and destroyed. The campsite itself is a very similar way. Like, the old man likely could maybe have survived had Zal not crushed his skull. But it would have been a chance. It would have been like a cleric would have had assisted him and a bunch of stuff. Like, his equipment is not doing good.
Zal kind of like just looks back at the old man's dead body, shaking his head as he does feel a sense of regret of doing it, as he didn't know that all he had to do was just slap him and wake him up. But he kind of looks at it. It's like the bastard's probably been here for who knows how long. I probably did him a mercy. At least that's the bright side of looking at things.
Was it the old man that put us in the trance?
I think so. I didn't, like I said, but when you guys walked over to him, you guys were like him.
Well, it looks like he took all of his buddies with him.
Maybe. So the room has physically gotten shorter, correct?
It's not that it physically got shorter. It's as if
Mentally.
it's as if the magic that was acting as if it was extending further than it was has dissipated.
Okay,
It was more or less revealed to be shorter than you thought it was.
Okay, Zal's gonna go over to the door now.
Looks like a normal dry rotted door, similar to the one before.
Alright, Zal's gonna just poke it open.
It opens without trouble. And
Is it
beyond,
the
you
same?
see what looks to just be a hallway that connects all 3 passageways back into the same one.
Oh, so we made it back?
No,
no?
not to the entranceway. It's as if it's very similar to the entranceway, but there's no exit. It continues into another hallway. It's as if these are like little cylinders that you go down to get to this hallway. Trial run, more or less. That's the trial kind of thing. Jumping back, we need to get
Yeah,
Orion.
okay, yeah, because I was about to say, damn it, Orion.
Yeah.
and then fade back to Orion is whatever he's here.
Orion, you
right
entered
back.
the middlemost door. The action, yes? We cannot act righteously.
Yes.
Alright. You enter inside and the door shuts behind you. Not much purpose in resisting that
You're back.
pull. And as you do, you note that out of the corner of your eye, you see little shadows dart. Like impish, almost, looking.
I'm going to use my bonus action to turn to a werewolf.
Okay, you crackle into being a werebear.
Oh, werewolf, my bad.
Werewolf, yeah, sorry. You have too many were creatures. Being a werewolf, the heightened senses, you're sure you're seeing something out of your corner of your eye, but you're not sure exactly what they are. They're very small, and you can see
And
tails that have pointed barbs at the end, but that's all you see as they dart between the shadows.
can I try to smell?
Make a perception check, I guess. You would
The
have
only reason
advantage
I
on that, I
is
think.
because like if it was, I don't or I do.
What?
Did you say I had advantage
Yeah,
on it?
you have advantage because you're a werewolf, right?
Yeah. Well, I would have had advantage anyways because my shield 20, 30.
You know, well, it smells like sulfur, but you're not entirely certain if that's from the volcano that you're in or not. You doubt it with what you just saw. Something
I
fiendish, probably.
I ready my action to, if anything comes out close to me, I'm swinging at it.
All right. You begin to traverse. Are you a human or no?
I am a half elf.
Half elf. You have dark vision then. You traverse through this semi well made place. The shimmering golds and stuff shining and tempting you, but not enough for you to be foolish enough to take anything. Especially not in this room. Um, Beginning your journey across what looks to be a very large room because you can't see the end of it, you take your steps carefully and measure them. Several more times you see darting forms. One time you feel one brush the side of your belt. You turn around. It's already gone. But you're ready. You're keeping vigilant. You're sure you'll get the first swing. Not too long, about halfway in from what you guesstimate the size to be. You know the forms coalescing and gathering into a group. And you now notice that there's probably 6 of them. And you see 2, they're meeting up in like groups of 2. And they're all just like
Are
looking
they,
at you as you're about halfway in. And they're forming up and they're gibbering to each other in the distance.
did it say what was the little like rhyme that it did or
It
whatever?
says the original one was, "We are blind." The one you're in is, "We cannot act righteously." And then the final one was, "Unless we hear his word," or "Unless we hear their word."
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna continue walking and keeping my eye on and making sure I'm ready to attack.
Little imps gibber some more. Do you understand Fiendish or no?
Do not.
Okay. And then you don't know what they're saying.
I know common and elven.
Nothing to do with this room. And they're gibbering to each other. You're about 160 foot into the room at this point. It's pretty long, but you're hoping you're near the end. When
He's
suddenly
just like,
all 6 of the forms leap out from behind pillars and just start sprinting towards you, rushing as soon as they can. You are ready.
are
And in front
they?
of you, you see what looks to be a mix between greenish imp-like creatures and reddish imp-like creatures. It's hard to tell exact hues, but they look to obviously be hellish in certain ways. And they are running forward, several of them with fangs bared, and several of them like grabbing their tails as makeshift spears, as they
Are
have
these
barbs on the
barbed
end.
devils?
Do what?
Are these barbed devils?
I think that's a little bit too high level for a single person fight, especially 6 of them.
Nah.
But they're charging forward. You can take the first swing if you want.
Wait, could I cast a spell?
Sure. You have it ready to action.
I just realized something. I don't have any good range. That sucks. I'm going to cast. Uh, Actually, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna make the attack because there's nothing I can cast. It's good. 13.
All right. Well, as you swing, cleaving through the forms, you note that your sword digs in, but doesn't hit anything. Passing through 1, 2, huge sweeping, 3 of the creatures before you're forced to reorient yourself. You're confused, and the dust that pops out of their existence surrounds you and fills your lungs as you're ready for combat, unexpectedly, almost forcing their way inside of you, and you're immediately in a weird delirium. You're not sure where they're coming from. You're not sure what's going on anymore. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as strange toxins enter your body and strange magics are placed in effect upon you.
Paladin!
12.
12 fails, and you can no longer act as you drop your sword in a state of delirium just here. Jumping back from Orion,
Rip.
and he failed. He's stuck there now until you guys save him. He acted in which he shouldn't have. You guys are now in this hallway with no Orion in sight. You figure you left him back at the first entrance, though you're not sure if he would go anywhere else or not. The next hallway is fairly short and seems to just lead to a room where you can see like weird pedestals and mounds of what looks like muck and dirt and bone and flesh. It's just an amalgamation of rock, stone, bunch of garbage. And you guys feel
Rock and
another
stone?
rumbling earthquake under your feet. But you
Yeah,
can see in this room, what you see is specifically 3 pedestals with items placed on top. Pillars, same filigree, niceties. Likely some artistic paint in here. And what looks to be covering like most of the weird, like not most of the weird, but most of the walls, covering a lot of the paintings even, is like mounds of just garbage. Mounds of flesh, bone, chunks of dirt, stone, hair. Just looks like massive mounds of those covering portions of the wall at no particular interval.
Alright, so there's 3 pedestals.
Yeah, and there's like a doorway that's already open. It's like 2/3 of the way open.
Alright, we should definitely be careful. I don't know if we should touch
What's happened?
the door.
Let's go back.
They see what you see in the next room. We jump back from Orion, which he's still not here. You see that there's 3 pedestals, each with items, and what looks to be flesh, bone, hair, dirt, just mud, stone, things covering the corners. And this seems to be like the final room. This seems to be art-covered room that's mostly covered in this like weird mucky substance, and 3 pedestals with a door that's 2/3 the way open, so you could easily slip in.
Does pedestals have like stuff on them, like you said, like items?
Yes, there's one that seems to have a weird, like, elongated mask face. Now that you think about it, kind of looks like your dad, Faye. Like the face. The next one has a weird feather that seems to be orange in a way that it's emanating its own light, almost like a soft glow of orange. And the last one looks to just be a weird amulet with an eye. Like the eye. A weird, like, circular eye-shaped thing.
I go towards the mask.
Just entering the room with just running towards the room.
Oh,
So-
wait. Did they make it
Yeah.
check for traps at all?
Yeah, no, because we just got here.
Yeah, you
Then-
just
oh,
were
yeah.
here. That's
Hey,
the
I
first
just
thing
got
you saw.
back, guys. I didn't know what was going
Yeah.
on. I thought it was already in the room.
Yeah.
I'm
Nope.
sorry.
Nope. They're outside right now.
Then I'll make an investigation check, I guess, or whatever I need to make.
Investigation
Okay.
for traps, yeah.
That's gonna help this time, as he's now very worried that there's some trance or some traps nearby.
18.
18. You don't note any particular traps other than one pressure plate that is in front of the door, but the wires are obvious to you because you know arcane stuff, and it seems to be like weird arcane wires that lead to torch-like structures in the room, likely arcane torches of some kind. This is nothing to worry about, this pressure plate. It's not a trap, it's just lighting.
So I know it will just make lights.
Yes, you're certain it'll just make lights.
Okay. I'm gonna jump past that though.
Okay.
Don't say pressure plate that makes lights. I do not trust this place. One step on it. And I'm gonna walk towards the mask.
You hop over it and past the door. Are the rest of you following her into the room?
Is anyone gonna press the pressure plate?
Zal's gonna like stay right outside the door. He's not gonna move anywhere near. He's just
Actually,
gonna make
that's a good idea. I'm staying with Zal.
You guys are like just positioned right outside
What's Eldrin?
the
What's
door.
Eldrin want to do?
Yeah. Are you going with
I'll
Faye?
stay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'll
get the mask.
What'd you say?
I'll stay with Zal.
Alright, so Faye, you're heading in by yourself.
Yep.
Okay, you guys are positioning yourself around this pressure plate, looking into the room, getting the best angle. Faye, you hop inside, and these 3 pedestals are just here. Muck covering the walls, art you can't quite see because there's no light in here.
Can I cast Identify on the mask?
You walk over to the mask, and you're certain now this is your father's face. Someone has either picked it off his head and put it here, or it's a perfect, near perfect replication, though its mouth is elongated. You're using an action to just cast Identify?
Mhm.
Alright. I need to open my Exandria document.
So it is magical.
It is magic.
Identify as a first level spell, no?
Yes.
Okay, and you can also just take like what 10 minutes or a minute to ritual cast it.
Yeah.
You understand this item is called the King's Face. It's a mask resembling your father's face, with the elongated stretched jaw. You understand that it allows for the
What?
activation of the pedestal in the king room, in this crypt, the crypt of the 3 gods. It's already on this pedestal. However, taking it off will likely unactivate something. Other than that, you don't have anything particular worried about it. That's all you really know.
It doesn't say it does like any properties. All it does is just one of the things I need to put on here.
It seems that if you take it, you'll have the ability to activate something else later on, but it will unactivate something here.
And so if I ritual cast all 3 of the items, would they say the same?
Are you going to start ritual casting in this room?
Yeah, I'll ritual cast each of them.
All right. You begin to ritual cast for the other 2. The next one you find is the Ever Fire Feather. It is a feather that has flecks of red in it and is warm to the touch. It allows activation for the pedestal that it is on, and keeps one fire that it is touching lit beyond logical ability. And it keeps one creature warm even in the coldest of conditions, beyond any cold you will experience other than damage. And it gives you resistance to the damage type if you attune to it, of cold. Yeah. If you leave it in a campfire, it'll keep that campfire going for whatever reason, and you have resistance to cold damage, and are near immune to winter-like effects while having it in your attune slot.
And so there's the king's what, and then
The King's Face and the Ever Fire Feather.
The Ever.
The last one is the Eye of Serpent Eyes. It is a yellowish, opaque, milky colored orb, like a milky green almost, yellowish, I guess. I already said that. with a carved cut, like if someone took a greatsword and chopped into a tree, you would see a small sliver of a cut, similar to this stone, as if someone took a pickaxe and grinded against it several hard strikes of a time, and it looks like a pearl almost. It allows the activation of this pedestal and a pedestal further under the crypt. And that seemingly is it. The only one that seems to have any useful magical abilities is the Everfire Feather. The other two are just necessary, it seems. But the Everfire Feather is also the only one that requires an attunement.
Okay, so I'm gonna write down King's Face, activate slash open, Eyes Open Eyes, open slash activate, the Everfire Feather, keep warm, cold resistance, keep fire on.
And also activation and something.
Zal's gonna. Zal is going to, since it's taken a while before anything happened, Zal's is going to actually step forward, feeling a bit more confident about this room now. He's going to look at Faye. If I recall, that was a identify spell. What did you find out about these things?
Before I tell you, what face do you see on this mask?
Zal's going to look at it.
It's not a face you recognize. It's a face.
Zal just shrugs. A face.
Probably older, you could guess, but it's partially elvish, if not full elvish. So it's near impossible to tell. Just looks like a man to you.
Yeah, it's just some person.
It's the exact dot by dot exact replica of my dad's face.
That is unnerving, but okay. All right. Okay.
And
so,
okay, by the way, the mask and the eye, they just open the door. The middle one, the feather, also does that. But if you're attuned to it, you gain You are better off in the cold temperatures, resistance to fire, and it can keep light like the fire on campfires like continuous.
By the way, I have a question. Are you removing any of these items from the pedestals?
Not yet,
Okay.
but maybe. That's what the middle one does. The other two they're here to open stuff.
okay, so
That's why that door over there is a little bit cracked open. I'm gonna guess.
the feather doesn't seem to be doing anything.
No, the
Necessary.
feather also activates it. The feather also needs to be there to open the door.
So we can't take any of these things.
We can after we go through the door and come back.
The door you're referencing, the only door in this room is the door you have already walked through.
Oh, never mind
You
then.
don't see any other doors at the moment. Everything else seems to be well made, but solid stone.
These three
Okay.
activate something. I just don't know what they're doing, and they're already activating it by being on the pedestal. The only one that's more important is the middle one, which is the feather. But to me, I really am very curious why that looks like my dad.
I'm very curious to grab it and see what it would do, but that's a fool's errand.
That's a fun idea.
Don't get any ideas.
As you say that, I grab the mask.
You grab the the mask. All right. I want
Sounds
you to
good.
make a what is it? Charisma save for me.
Oh boy,
As you
am
grab
I
the mask
great
and
at
tear it
that.
off the pedestal, and the
Am I
room
great
comes
at
to
that.
life. Several
Oh.
lights flicker on. The pressure plate seemingly not necessary in this kind of scenario.
18 save.
18. You grab the mask, and you feel the urge as you look down at it. That dagger on your belt looks real delicious. And you reach for it. But it's metal. No. And you toss the face down on the ground.
I was gonna try to eat it.
You were going to try and eat your dagger for a minute there.
Oh, in my dagger.
Yes, you were going to try to eat your dagger.
Zal's gonna immediately just grab his hammer, looking. I told you not to touch it.
The
What else are we
trials
gonna
are not
do? Go back?
past.
Oh,
The trials are not past. The trials are not passed. And it just keeps echoing louder and louder from the corners of the room. And the mounds begin to rotate and move slightly. But stay
I
still.
didn't ask, and I grabbed the feather.
You grab the feather. That one doesn't have any ill effects. As you take it off the pedestal, the lights flare even brighter, now illuminating the entire room. The chant becomes trial in progress. Trial is still progress.
I like your idea, and I put the feather in my hair, and I'm gonna grab the eye.
Zal's just gonna fucking punch Faye at this point.
He grabs the serpent eye, and Zhao clocks you on the side of the face.
Ouchie!
You look at the eye, and you have an urge to shove it in your eye. Make a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy!
You really want to change
can
your
I knock
eye
it-
out for this?
Can I knock it out of his hand while I punch him?
I mean, it's a disarming attack instead of damage, but yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't let
Don't
you
even
make an
s-
attack.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna try to hold him. I'm gonna try to hold Faye down.
Yeah.
You have
okay.
to run towards
I'm
me.
just
I'm
saying,
at the
since-
pedestals.
Yeah, they came in with you after that, after you started casting.
Oh, did they also walk in?
Yeah, they said they did.
Yeah.
Alright, let
At
me make
least
the save.
Kotaro and Zal did. I'm not sure about
You guys
that.
have no. Let me do this, bruh.
Athletics, though, by the way. Zal.
17. 17. Does that pass?
With the charisma, yes. They begin to grapple you, and you,
Okay.
throw down and let go of the orb as well.
No, I'm holding them. I'm just like, guys, I'm fine. What are you on about? I'm
Yeah.
just looking at these items.
I rolled a
Mine's
22.
a 16.
Yeah, they
Okay.
begin to
22.
grapple you, dude. There's no hope for
Okay,
you.
fine. I'm being held down. I can still hold the items. Guys, I don't know what's your deal.
The
No,
flesh
I
in
got
the
a
corner of
22
the
on my
room is
disarming.
rolling like a
You're
stomach.
disarming?
Yeah, I disarmed you.
Why?
Disarmed you of
I-
the.
I
the
already
serpent.
saved.
It
There was
doesn't
no
matter.
They don't want you
I
to have it.
disarmed you.
Okay, so Zal, are you tearing this from her grasp?
I'm not touching it. No, what I'm doing
Okay.
is I'm literally just smacking her hand so she loses it.
Smack it against the stone till they force
You guys
it,
have a problem or something. I will let you know. I almost got tricked into it and I passed. I saved. Okay, so what's the deal? The trials are continuing. I'm pretty sure that's what we were supposed to do. What else are we doing in this room? It's empty. We leave. That's all we do left. We have to take the items. That's what the trial is. I'm picking up the item again. Let me go. Let me go. I will kill you.
We're once we get out of here, you're gone.
What?
You're gone. We
What do you mean
can't have
gone?
someone as reckless as you staying here.
I'm pretty sure the person that's holding me down right now burned an entire tavern down, right? Oh, that's crazy. That's not reckless at all, is
Bring
it?
that up.
Oh, that's not reckless at all, is it? It's not reckless at all, is it?
Eldrid's just standing here not knowing a word of what you're talking
Oh,
about.
didn't you guys fight a powerful what's it called? Whatever Oscar was again, I forgot what it was called. By yourselves, knowing you'd lose? For some reason, you attacked it? Oh, that's not reckless. Did we not just blow up a town? That's not reckless at all, is it? Do not say reckless to me! Do not say reckless to me, because we all have done something reckless already. You helped me destroy the machines in the town, the little rooms. The one that's saying don't be reckless. Shut up!
Zal's gonna
I
stare at her.
threw a ship at someone before, and you guys didn't yell at me for being reckless.
Zal's smacking Faye. Shut her
I
up.
miss you. I miss you step out of the grass.
At this point, you misty step and feel and as soon as you do, you note that almost the entire floor. Eldrin, you're lucky because otherwise your fine boots would be ruined. The rest of you guys, the floor is filled with a thin layer of mucus or blood. And the walls that I've been slowly describing rolling are closing in and coming apart as several different creatures. You note that they begin to coalesce into one solid form. As the mantra of the trials are not past, a trial is in progress. Still fill the room while you're shouting at each other. Yeah, the thing is slowly pushing towards you at this point. The walls are.
Okay, so Zal, with a piece of cloth, is gonna grab the serpent thing and then place it back on its pedestal.
Hypocrites.
You throw that back on the pedestal, but it doesn't the room's still flared. There's nothing, and the only clue as to what could happen right now is a trial is still in progress. And
Watch
the room is
this.
closing in.
The
The
things
door's
back
still open.
on
You
and
can
watch.
jump out.
I'll put the things back on the pedestal.
Doesn't do anything. The walls about 5 foot, not 5 foot. They're about 10 foot from the door, slowly creeping in.
Okay.
See?
All right. Zal's just gonna shake his head, grab
Why'd
the.
you? Before we get to surrounded in this room, I want to know why you yelled at me.
Zal's just gonna run out, grabbing the serpent.
Person that coughs and laughs all the time and doesn't explain why, and I'm gonna take the things again and leave.
By the time you try and reach the things, you're gonna have to make a dexterity check to race the
Oh.
walls to it.
Oh no! Wait, I'm gonna grab only the feather and I'm gonna misty step out.
Okay, that's fair. You misty step back
Yeah,
out.
I'm misty stepping as well.
Eldrin, you watch as this party go in, grab items, scream at each other, get chased out by a wall, and all you're thinking, or not all you're thinking about, all you're like able to even understand about this, the only clue that you're getting, what are you doing during this as you hear the mantra that a trial is still in progress, the trials are not passed? What are you doing while they're screaming match at each other?
I am not one for much conflict, so I just kind of enjoy, I guess, in a way, just like watching them scream, if that makes sense, you know? I'm just like, haha, that's funny, I guess.
So you're just watching
He's just
them?
laughing at us.
That's
Yeah, he's
your
laughing
goal
at us.
for now is just to laugh
He's
at
just
them?
laughing.
He's laughing
Laugh.
at us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I'm just like, entertainment, you know? I don't know what else.
Well, they jump back out, and you're reunited as the mucus creature fades back into the room as you leave it.
Oh no,
longer-
guys, we are so dead because my reckless actions of grabbing a feather. Let's leave. Actually, no. I want to know why you guys yelled at me about being reckless. What does this entire party do? This entire group for this entire military army. What do we do every day? Why do you get the right to yell at me about being reckless? Answer
Zal's
me.
gonna.
That's not rhetorical.
Zal's just gonna stare at Faye.
You punched me.
Look around you. Do you think we're in some tent? You think we're in some non-magical place? This is a dungeon. Keep your wits and don't just grab random objects. Sure, we've all done reckless things, but this could have gotten all of us killed. We don't even know where Orion is.
Dude, we could have
Shut up.
almost... Don't you dare tell me to shut up, or I will kill you where you stand! I did nothing wrong. We destroyed a town. That could have killed us more than a dungeon with a meat wall. Oh no, what we're gonna do? Eat it? Shut up about being reckless! God, everybody in here has done something stupid. Besides whatever his name, the drow, I can't pronounce his name, because he's not been here long enough. He's been actually the only one that could say, don't be reckless, because he wasn't. You cannot yell at me. You cannot yell at me about this, or you are being a hypocrite, and I don't like that.
Okay, is Godero gonna say anything?
You guys just hear something very, 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 very just.
Go on.
By the gods, you are both fools. Alright, we are all fools. Let's just get out of here, meet up with Orion, and leave this forsaken place.
I agree. And also, are we not going to talk about the fact that that's literally my dad's face on that pedestal? We're just going to walk away from that one too?
That sounds more like a you problem, if anything, but...
It really isn't. It's really much of my dad's problem. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. That could be his actual face. Oh, I grabbed his face. Ew, 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 ew.
If you want to go back in there, feel free, but...
I kind of want to go take my dad's
Yeah.
face because I really want to know if it actually is his.
Alright, Zal kind of goes back into like a quiet demeanor. And like, is there any more pathways besides that one room?
Nope. That room is now receded back to its original visual, except it's now very bright, and you see the muck in the walls. And with the light, it's very obvious that it is somewhat alive. Um, but it's not coalesced at the moment, so there's no way to hurt it in a substantial way. But
Okay.
that mantra is still repeated, though it is more of like a thought in the background than you're not like focusing on it. It's been repeating for so long throughout this conversation. Trial is not passed. A trial is in progress. The trials are not passed
Okay.
over and over again.
And there's no other door besides this one door, right?
Nope. There's the 3 doors behind you that are the other trials.
Oh. That's what I said, Trent. Like, was there more doors to this place?
I told you when you entered, there's the 3 hallways, there's the 3 doors connecting
Okay.
to the 3 hallways, and then
Alright.
this other room. Yes, there are those
Okay.
other 3 doors to the trials.
Okay. Okay, Zal's gonna go over to him. I'm assuming there's probably words saying on them with Celestial, which I can't read.
No, not on this side, no.
Never mind.
It's actually
Okay.
in common.
There's no
Okay.
there's no particular things on this one.
Okay, so Zal is gonna look at them. Is there like any distinguishing features on them or something?
The only thing you note is they're simple dry wood, like doors. They're very dry rotted, though you know that not to be a fault to them. The only door that seems any better than these doors is the door that leads into the room you were just in. It is the only door that isn't pure drywall, more or less. It is actually well enough made to be considered a proper door.
Alright, so assuming that these are one of the trials, guess we go through one of them. Well, I don't have any more of my, So, which one do you guys want to go through?
I say we do left, middle, right again.
Alright.
I open the left
Zal's
door.
gonna, Zal's gonna look at Kotaro, do you have any inkling of what to do, Kotaro?
This is one of those situations where I feel completely clueless.
I was afraid of that. I suppose we're just going blindly into one of these rooms. We figure something out. We die. Zal is kind of like you can see him sweating. And he kind of like puts the sweat to the side. You start hearing him chuckle once more, as anyone in this state would be highly stressed. You start hearing him chuckle kind of maniacally, but immediately, once again, suppressed by a cough. But this time with no blood, as he's not badly wounded.
You
And
good?
Zal's just gonna go over to the left door. I'm fine.
Okay. There was the mucus getting into you?
Zal just stays quiet and opens the left door, looking inside.
The leftmost door from your perspective is the one you were just in.
Oh.
The
Oh.
2 doors open to you, and this is like a mirror opposite. It was left and middle in the room before. Now it is right and middle.
Okay.
This
Then
would
we go
just
to the
be where
right
you're
door.
looking back at the doors. Right and middle would be the 2 doors that are remaining.
Then we
Go
go
to
to
the right
right.
one then.
You open the right one and note the glittering jewelry and rubies, fine paintings yet again, all strewn about. Who is in there?
It's another painting room. No.
I'm not doing another painting right now. No, I'm opening the middle one.
You open the middle one, and you see a dense fog pour out. And just begins to fill the other room, but it eventually clears away enough. And you see Orion just kind of standing there, eyes just blinking slowly. His
Well,
sword
I
drops
found
to the
him.
ground.
Yes, where he was. I found him, guys. Orion!
Are you running in?
I'm gonna first yell for him.
You yell for Orion, he ain't reacting.
God.
Orion is standing there like on a drug binge.
This dude is on some Percocets. I'm gonna go get him.
As you go in, you hear skittering around in the corners. The
Never
door
mind.
shuts behind you.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's all you guys
Oh.
hear is before the door closes.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
So
But you hear
just-
skittering in the corners
Oh,
as you enter.
wait,
What are you guys
Hold on.
doing
Did the,
as,
cl-
before we go
did
into
the
his
door
shop?
close after Damien went in?
Unless someone else immediately jumps in, yes.
Yeah, I'm jumping in with him.
Okay,
Okay.
I want you to make a acrobatics check as you contort your body to try and fit through the shutting door, as there was next to no warning that he was going in.
Can I just Misty step inside?
Sure. I don't know how many
Oh, that works.
spots you guys are gonna waste on that, but you misty step inside, right behind Phalith, and you quickly pick up on the skittering noises as well, and the sulfurous smell in the air, more or less just filling the place.
I'm gonna cover my nose and mouth with like a mask.
You do so.
Let's go. I'm gonna go like just like shake Orion.
As you walk toward Orion, you hear. Any of you speak Fiendish?
Let me look. I don't think I said that one, did I?
I heard Infernal.
There's Inferno, but I'm pretty sure it's different.
I think Infernal's different than I think Infernal's different than Fiendish.
I'll look it up.
A sec.
I'm not
Most
entirely
likely.
sure. I might be wrong on that.
As I'm looking it up,
Nick?
is Inferno
Actually,
No,
that-
Totoro only speaks Dwarvish.
and
Oh.
Fiendish.
Wait, that's actually brings me a good question. Does Godwin speak Fiendish?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
nice.
pretty sure.
Is Inferno and Fiendish different?
Also, was to anyone else when Damien was yelling, was it like super loud for you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Damien
It's not
actually
my-
yells when he yells. Damien.
Yeah, I don't
Da-
just like project my
Yeah.
voice. I do it as like an actual character would yell at someone.
Yeah, Damien put his whole Badusi in that.
I do it whenever yeah, Fiendish. Wait, there's no fiend. There's fiend and like there's like fiends and like demons like
Okay.
infernals.
Sorry,
And then
they're speaking
but it's the same.
Infernal.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I have infernal.
Okay, you have Infernal.
Okay.
Then you
Common Elvish
understand.
Ogre Celestial Infernal Thieves
You
Camp.
understand that whoever made this did not know Infernal that well, as this isn't Infernal. This is a good mockery of it, so that people who didn't know Infernal would not understand. But you're hearing random gibberish, like garbage,
It's like
just pure
it's like the undercommon
nonsense.
version of common.
He is more. They're more or less. One of them asked about how his fish is doing, and the other responds he went shopping for bananas.
Wait a minute.
This isn't normal fiendish at all. This is not right.
I remember that. I remember those sayings as a different person.
I literally just pulled that because I remembered it. That's not something to do with
Oh, that was something random.
Yeah, that I'm just saying that they're speaking nonsense. I'm not specifically referencing any time.
I thought you were specifically referencing that, and I'm like, hold up,
No.
Trent.
No,
Hold up, what are you doing, buddy?
I just remembered it, so I said it. That's not an actual thing.
Yeah, fish and bananas. Good. Okay. I'm gonna shrug. Alright.
What?
I said, yep, bananas and fish. Yep, and then I shrug Orion.
Okay, you punch Orion in the arm. You take a
guess-
point of damage, Orion. Is that not what you said you were going to do?
Yeah, I was trying to just like shake him awake. Yeah.
You understand damage is necessary, at least a small portion.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
'Cause I got punched into being okay again.
Make wisdom saves, Orion. As many times as it takes while you're doing this. But while you're doing this, you see the
Let me see,
fiendish
punching.
creatures all gathering up to charge at you, each gathering into groups of 2, preparing their charge.
I'm gonna cover Phaleth's back, and I'm going
Just keep making-
to summon. I'm going to cast Shadow Blade and summon forth a blade. And like, what happens is like I kind of open my hand in front of my mouth, and black and gray ash begins to spew out of Kotaro's mouth, and he kind of like pulls it out like it's like a sword swallower, he pulls it out, and a blade of ashen ashen stuff comes out of his mouth.
Alright. You do so, casting the spell, summoning the blade, and as soon as you do, the imps charge. A fog rolls over you far quicker than even they can chase you down. How are you reacting as you begin to try and shake Orion awake and fiendish creatures speaking nonsense charge at you?
By the way, Chase, keep rolling because you have to make the save at
Yeah,
some
you have
point.
to roll until you succeed, because Phalith can wake you up in this moment. There's almost no hope that they fail that much.
How far are the fiendish boys around?
They
How
charge
close?
at you. They're like 15 foot away, and they're running at you right now. A fog rolls over Kotaro as he draws out a shadowy sword.
Guys, look at my rolls.
Dude, no, he's not
Bro.
got anything over a 10 yet.
How many times did he fail so far?
He's failed like 7 or 8 times.
You're gonna be low.
17.
Oh, he
There he
passed.
goes.
He passed. He passed.
You take how much ever damage, how many ever d20 rolls you had to make in damage, because Phalith punched you several times very quickly.
Wake up!
6 points of damage.
Phalith,
6
how are you
points of
reacting to
damage.
these fiends as they charge at you as soon as Orion awakens out of his stupor?
These
Kotaro's
don't
already immolated in fog.
these don't look like these don't look like powerful beasts. They just look
They
like
look
some
like impish creatures, both green and red.
green and
I
red.
As soon as I get like woken up, I just yell, "Don't swing!"
Why?
That's what you're not supposed to swing. It's baiting you. Don't.
The imps begin prodding in your direction, but you understand as soon as he's shouting that the hesitance it causes. They're not going to do anything. They're just there to force you to react. Kotaro, however, reacted.
He reacted.
He reacted preemptively, even. I want you to make a wisdom saving throw as the fog has encapsulated you
I'm
before.
gonna beat him down
Orion.
too, aren't I?
Yes,
Kotaro, no.
Yes, master.
Actually, he might have a good chance of
It's an
succeeding.
18.
All right,
Yep,
you're good
you're
then. You're good. The fog rolls over you, but by the time the conversation ends with an 18, you're back to normal.
Man, Kotaro's just fucking built different.
Yeah.
Well, we have one more door to go through, guys. Oh wait, this door's closed, isn't it?
Now that nobody's affected,
Are we leaving Zal behind?
No, we have to go back to the other door that we had. We've been here before, haven't we?
no.
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know that.
This is the middle door that you jumped.
Yeah, I meant that we opened it before. We've seen it before.
Oh yeah, you looked in, but you didn't go in.
Yeah, we've seen it before. That means we need to go back to where Zal is to go to the door that we opened but didn't go through. And then we have the far left door afterwards, at the very end, at the very beginning. We need to go back to where Zal is. Let's try. I'm gonna go open the door that Zal's standing behind.
All right,
That we just went through.
you go open the door. It pushes open with ease. No longer
Aye.
being affected by the spells. The mantra is still being muttered, but not as loudly.
I had to beat in Orion's face in, but he's good.
Oh, so okay. I thought something bad happened to you guys again.
You know how you beat like us until we waking up? Yeah, same thing for him. But he wasn't making sounds. He was just standing.
Right. Okay. That's good to know. Zal's going to look at Orion and just like go over and pat his shoulder. You good, friend?
Of course. Just a bit disoriented.
How's the jaw? That looks. Ooh. I'd hit you a couple times.
Yeah, you hit me with that 3-piece combo there, son.
Yeah, I probably should use my left arm. I don't know why he's the robotic one. That was probably a bad
he
idea.
he kind of like holds his jaw and moves it around. Like, still got all my keys, so I'm fine. And I was werewolf form, so I don't take much.
Let's go back to the door that was with paintings again. Hey.
Right. Wait, no, we don't even have to go through that one. We can just go through the middle one.
Well, we still haven't found the treasure, so Shouldn't we keep going?
Well, if we have to take the trials, we have to complete all the rooms.
I'm saying. We go back to the one that we opened just in that had paintings right next to this door.
No, Damien, that's the one that we did before.
Oh,
Wasn't
really?
Okay, the room you're missing is the one about blindness and like we cannot see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the one
Yeah.
that you haven't completed yet.
Got
Yeah,
it.
we did the painting ones already.
Okay, never mind. I thought there was another one for some reason.
No. Alright, so if from judging from my baboon,
Death.
if we look at anything, we'll become blind.
And then if we pick it up, the door closed. Because that's what he did. Guess.
Alright, so how do you guys want to go about this?
I say we cover our eyes. We can feel our way through. I'm beginning to notice a trend here. None of the threats here are real. Everything seems to be illusionary. So, it is my working hypothesis that if we are to close our eyes and keep them closed, we should be fine.
Also, I have a question,
Perhaps.
Zhao. Your
Yes.
first little animal went through the door and only vanished. We didn't find it. We didn't get any blood smells, did we? From that one.
No, we didn't.
So where is your animal friend?
Yeah, by the way, is that jackal around?
The only like none of your animals were visible. You get the sense that the original animal that you sent in probably didn't die. It probably just heard that mantra and can't speak and is somewhere in that room in the darkness, hidden behind a pillar or something, just staring at a wall.
You wanna go save your friend first?
Wait, no,
before we...
hold on. That image in my head is fun. Going, it's just a jackal literally just going.
Pretty much. It can't say anything. It is just probably silent or very quietly, if not silently, staring at a wall.
I mean, it doesn't speak common. Would he have even known what? Unless it didn't matter if you couldn't understand him or not.
Yeah, if you know no one speaks jackal here, you know, so it's probably not that big of an issue. You could probably go in there and get him if you wanted to, but
Actually, the jackal only had like a 2 intelligence, so I don't even know. It might have still affected him, but it's alright. Right. We could probably go back to that room later and get some, because he won't disappear for a while, at least, hopefully. So Zal's going to just think for a second. Alright, so Kotaro, you think we go into the room and just cover our eyes, not have to fight anything.
It's either that or end up with like the baboon. And, well, I can't speak for the rest of you, but I'll be fine. Most of my attacks will cover most of the room. And he kind of chuckles sadistically.
I hope
It's like
you,
we're all going insane.
Travelers, I'm gonna get off here.
Okay.
See you around.
see you, Zach.
See ya.
Alright.
Eldrin like slowly dissipates from reality.
Yeah, Elden's like, guys, you guys are crazy and fine. I'm leaving.
Eldrin just disappears into the shadows.
He goes and chills out with the jackal.
Yeah, he goes to the
Once
jackal
again-
and leaves. He goes and saves the jackal and leaves.
I'll wait
Yeah, I
outside.
could do that. Yeah. Yeah, do that. Have Elder do that. Okay. Zal's just like gonna just close his eyes. Okay. Do any of you have any way to sense that that we're walking around places? Because maybe perhaps we're going to have to find something in there.
Let me look. Well, I do got something.
What?
A 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
You see one of the
Wait.
side pouches. I just break and it forms a 10-foot pole.
Wait a minute. Eldrin has darkness. No, he doesn't get that yet.
Not yet.
I think that's a 5th level ability.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, that's 5th level. He gets that. Okay, never mind. I had an idea. It died. Okay.
I got
The
this.
10-foot pole. The 10-foot pole is our best bet. It seems only a few of us can go at a time. Who wants to go?
I'll go. I'm the one holding the pole, of course.
So are you all heading
Kotaro?
into the blindness room?
I want to. I think that what we're gonna do is that since there's only 4 right now, we're just gonna go 2 at a time, maybe, if everyone's okay with that.
That's fine. Who's coming with me?
I'll come with you
All right. Hold on to
because
the
I
pole
have
with me.
spells. Yeah, I have spells that can't miss. So
Same. No, don't.
All
all
right.
right, we'll go
So
together.
what
I'll kind of like
preparations?
Closing our eyes.
I am going. I'm gonna prep a magic missile,
Oh,
and if if I feel if Damien or if Phaleth feels anything organic at the end of her pole, or if I feel anything touch me that is not Phaleth, I am going to immediately.
Okay. You guys enter and are just closing your eyes.
I'm closing my eyes and
Yeah.
covering my mouth and nose with my mask.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll just close my eyes.
Entering
I'll pull down my bandage. I'll pull down my bandages over my eyes.
entering the room, the door slams shut behind you, separating Orion and Zal from the other two party members. You guys begin to make your way through, blindly poking and prodding, feeling and hearing gold clanking and not shattering, but
Shattering.
falling to the floor as you knock it across, and several jewels as well, hitting several pillars, all marked in like intricate runes, and you can tell writing and stuff on it, but you can't. You're not going to open your eyes, so I assume you ain't going to read it. The floor, you feel bumps and stuff in it that you have to like move over and make sure there's not pressure plates there by smacking it a few good times. Once you're about halfway in the room, you see like beneath your eyelids, the room lights up and then flashes to darkness again. And you hear something scream. Not a human scream, animalistic. Almost like an angry growl. And it yips a few times, and you feel a stone, or not feel, but hear a stone clatter next to you. You
Oh no!
you walk around, and you feel a little bit more in the area.
It's the animal you put in here.
Uh,
Dude, are we about to see a basilisk?
What'd you say?
maybe. You if you go through here and slip on a few locations, as there is obviously some sort of membrane. I don't think that's the right word.
Membrane.
Secretion of something slippery is in this room. As you walk through and push through, you feel what feels like more and more stone. About the halfway mark, almost everywhere you move has some sort of stone hit, as if the room is shrinking, or there's gold or jewels all around, like pedestals. It's trying to get you to open your eyes in some way. And about this point in time, with how much noise you're making, clacking against it, something brushes against your hip, Phaleth. Something very, not smooth per se, but just like quick and like it's brushing against you nonchalantly.
Ew. Ew. I don't feel right. Let's keep going.
It reaches over and something grabs your arm as you begin to walk further, and just like holds on to you and begins to like tug your arm slightly. Not with immense strength yet, but just slight pulls against your arm. Something,
Please, there's someone tugging on me.
I'm going to turn and cast a magic missile behind Fearless back.
My question is, do you have to see the target to cast magic missile?
Uh, I
If
don't
so,
know.
I will look up magic missile real quick.
Yeah,
If
you
it says
do.
a target
Yeah,
you see, then you can't do
yeah,
it.
you have to. 1 second. I have an idea. I have an idea,
I also have an idea. Give me 1 minute.
bro. Okay, I'm gonna cast Burning Hands behind Fearless. Like I'm
Okay.
not. I'm gonna put my hand past Fearless, so I know I'm not hitting her.
All right.
Like I'm gonna rest it over her shoulder and shoot it behind her.
Okay, give me 1 second here. I need to look
I
up
have to
its
see
stat
that.
block.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Wait, so they're holding my hand?
The creature's like has your forearm grabbed, and it begins to like try and it's not trying to pull you down more than it's trying to pull itself up. It seems.
I'm casting Shocking Grasp on it.
Okay, you reach out, cast with disadvantage. The creature passes with a 17 dex save, however.
Okay, so I need to make it a disadvantage. But why is it disadvantage? Because I do I have to see that one?
Every attack that you do while blinded, you can no longer do, like without disadvantage. If you're blind, you have disadvantage
Yeah.
on attacks.
Is
Okay.
it wearing
So
metal?
should I roll damage, Trent?
I don't think it matters because even if you roll all three once, you turn around, catch fire the creature, which yelps in pain and tries to clamber up Phalith. She goes to cast a spell, but realizes, to probably a good portion of joy, that the form that she cast the shock into no longer tenses as it's already dead. And the yelp of a baboon put down
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Oh
As you
Monkey, no.
as you
Alright, well, let
brutally
me get the
burn it
base spell
alive
slot.
and shock it.
Uh, I don't feel anymore. What'd you do? Oh.
yeah, save it.
Oh,
I think I killed the monkey.
I think I killed the monkey.
We gotta take it back with us. I'm gonna pick it up.
No, no,
It
you
turns to
cannot tell
dust in
Zal
your
about this.
hands as it returns to its magical home.
Fearless, listen to me. Do not tell Zal.
Uh, all right,
oh,
nothing else seems to be happening.
monkey dead.
I kind of wanna keep going.
Are you guys going to
Let's,
return
let's
back to your party?
Is that all?
no. Let's keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I was just saying keep going.
You walk forward and get surrounded by more gold and jewels, and eventually it dissipates back to a regular level. Um, unless you open your eyes here, or entered with your eyes open, there is nothing stopping you guys from walking around. Your trial's likely completed in the eyes of this, as so far, every time you guys have just passed through the rooms, you're fine. And that room would be considered completed. You could probably return if you wanted to.
Should we open our eyes?
Did you just ask, should we open our eyes?
Yep. I'm asking. I'm asking. Go to our eyes. Should we open our eyes? Go.
Um. Well, seeing as that monkey met such an unfortunate fate,
That was you.
I don't. I don't. I don't think that we should open our eyes. I think we should go back.
What if I open
But
just
if
one
you
eye? What if I open just one eye and you protect me?
sounds fine to me. I'm not the one getting blinded.
Blinded. Oh yeah, the
Well,
thing did say
fire under my
blind. Oh yeah, the door said blinded. I would
or
get
fire
blind.
under your eyes like the portrait.
Okay, let's go. Did we tell him about the monkey?
No.
He kind of
Here,
needs to know. It's his,
Fearless.
it's his pet.
I will. I will pull up one of my bandages, and I will open one of my eyes. And
What are you trying?
well, if I am blinded,
Only one eye.
Yes, and
You're gonna need that eye.
that is true, actually.
I need my eye as well, but not as much. But I say we both kind of need our eyes.
How about we get Orion in here and make him open an eye?
Yeah, how about this? How about this? How about we say that we opened our eyes and nothing happened?
That's a good idea. Wait, what about the monkey? If they're gonna find the monkey.
No,
The
no, he
monkey
became
turned to
dust.
ash. Yeah, the
No,
monkey
no, he
turned to
doesn't know that.
dust.
I had the monkey's hand. I was trying to pick him up, and he became dust. He's so
Okay,
scared.
okay, I'm fine.
Let's let him know that the eyes opening does not do anything.
Right. So are you returning to your party?
We open the door and go.
Yeah.
We open our eyes towards them. Wait, right before. Okay, right as the door opens, I open my eyes.
As soon as you open your eyes,
As I'm looking through the door, I'm at the doorway.
you're at the doorway, but you're in the room. And as soon as you open your eyes,
Okay, no,
you
I'm
push.
not.
Yeah, you already did it, Damien. You said
I
you
meant
did it.
as I open the door, that means I'm in through the door.
Yeah, as you open the door, at least part of you is still in that room.
Fine then. I open one eye if you're gonna make me do this.
Okay, you open one eye, but magic doesn't care really.
That's fair.
You open your eyes, you open the door, and as soon as you do, the door slams back shut.
God!
As darkness coalesces around you in a bright flash, more or less burns your irises for a moment. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. I promise you that was Orion's fault the door closed because he looked through it.
You might be the most dense motherfucker I've ever met.
Wait, con save?
Yes.
Please. Where's my constitution? Dirty 20.
All right, you're good. It burns your irises, but not enough for it to be an issue. And the door quickly opens afterwards, just shutting. It's just like cracking open, slamming shut, and then opening normally. Is basically what the rest of you notice.
I keep the door open and go, guys, you shouldn't have looked through here. That's why I closed the door. Oh my god. You don't do that. Anyways.
Alright, so I think, considering that the trials are still going on.
The mantra is ended. As soon as they exit, the mantra is no longer happening. The room is still brightly lit in there, but there is no longer a deep demonic chanting, and that has ceased. And instead,
Where the hell's my treasure at, bro?
as you look through the doorway, you now see what looks to be a illusory wall or a pass wall or something that is created, or the illusion is taken down, and you can now see a staircase heading deeper into less carved stone and more natural rock. But the mucus is still active. The mucus is still around.
I want to take this. I want to go get the stuff.
Yeah, and I'll follow.
You
I'll
could
follow
probably
right
run
behind.
through and grab the items off the pedestal without the mucus catching you, with how
Okay.
slow it was moving.
I'll do that.
Okay. By the way, that door is now open all of the way. The door was a tracker of how many trials you completed.
Okay. Yeah.
Your party jumps over the pressure plate, charges through, snatches up the eye and the serpent. I'm assuming with something covering their hands.
Yes.
And charges through the staircase that leads further down. The mucus quickly shoots out from the walls trying to catch you, but is too slow for a quick-moving adventurer. You head deeper, your entire party running into the newfound darkness as the room was lit with each of these items now newly acquired. And below seems a widening path of tunnels. One tunnel is obviously meant to be followed, the others are smaller, and carved probably by kobolds or goblins or something small. But you make your way, for the most part, unhindered, deeper and deeper. How long are you guys willing to travel in this tunnel?
I was gonna ask if we could do a short rest real quick. We are a little bit damaged. We did punch each other a lot.
Does everyone want to?
Sounds good to me.
Alright.
All
I'm
right.
gonna tune to the feather as we long rest.
You attune to what? The feather?
The feather, yeah.
All right. You attune to the
What does the
feather,
eye do?
taking the short rest or long rest. You said long rest.
I thought we did short rest.
Okay, short rest. I mean, what I mean is you said that a second ago. You like missaid it, I guess.
Okay.
But taking a short rest, attuning to the feather, you are now resistant to cold damage as long as it's on your person. And you know that you can recover the item as a bonus action, as long as you are no further than 30 foot away from it.
And okay, and I can also keep. I'm also really warm during the cold places, and I you keep fire on.
Yeah, you can put it in a fire, and the fire will stay active beyond logical norms.
Got it.
You don't know exactly the limit to that, but probably pretty useful. One thing you know, and this is your entire party, not just you. You, however, you know that your fingers, as long as you're holding the feather, like the longer you hold it, like if you rub your fingers through the feathers of the orange fire-like feathering of the feather, ash comes off in your fingers. However, as you head deeper, you're after this rest. If you are heading deeper, how
I put the
long?
feather in my hair.
You do. You're like now trailing a gentle breeze of ash as you walk around. Not nothing trailable or anything. Just every once in a while you see a flake of that. But how far are you guys willing to go down this tunnel?
As far as possible.
All right.
Get back.
You travel for hours, several at least. Probably close to a full day's traveling even down this twisting, turning tunnel that seemingly is endless until it's not. The hallways become wider and more freshly carved. The hallways become metal and then reinforced with steel, reinforced with something greenish glowing under your torchlight. Any magical light, it glows a little bit purplish instead, if you put magical light up to it. The walls are reinforced, almost black like obsidian, like a volcanic rock that is solidified. The further you go, the more reinforced this gets, and the more well created this is. This doesn't want to collapse, ever. The hallway gets wider and then shorter again, almost like it's, we want people to be able to travel through here, but choke points are necessary for some reason. You see airlocks, locked and shut, though with Eldrin by your side, they are relatively easy. Spending 10 minutes on each at most, your party pushes through with varying difficulty and ease. There's obviously a sense of security. And so you shut the doors behind you, hoping not to let things out. It's just a smart move. You travel further and know you can open those doors with ease if need be. But you travel further and eventually find yourself in a room that strikes you each with awe. The room is so bright and so warm, it's as if standing over a volcano. It smells of sulfur beyond all healthy means. Probably not healthy to stay down here for very long. And it is very warm, so you're consuming a lot more water than normal.
Orion just coughs it. It smells like ass down here.
Turning another corner, you guys see the largest underground cavern any of you have ever seen. Yes, Upper Duke was impressive. They were hundreds of feet long and hundreds of feet wide, filled to the brim with weapons of destruction. This is on a whole nother time scale, a whole nother construction scale. There's no way this was a quick construction. There's no way this was a year's taking construction. And this probably took a century. If you didn't have the most powerful mages in the current world building it, at least. And around you, you see that all of this is reinforced and blackened, but the most dangerously beautiful creature you've ever seen, massive, brimming with flame, chained up with massive chains. The floor, dipping deeper and deeper, is a ever-boiling volcano, the center of the geothermic activity. The creature itself is letting off a constant hiss of sulfuric ash and gas as it flies to the nearby vents that are around Comorta. The creature itself is on another size scale. It's almost as large as a rock, larger than a dragon, wing scale of maybe 400 feet, 200 for each wing, if not larger. Hard to tell because it's wrapped tightly in the most massive chains you've ever seen. The room scale for this is miles, by the way, not feet. You are looking across what seemingly is a very, very bright, because of this creature, but very near endless underground cavern. The cavern has anchor points that you see with chains several feet thick. This is far beyond any one smith's creation, as each chain link is solid 100, 200 pounds of steel. The walls are endless, and there seemingly is a ridiculous number of these anchor points, and they're all heavily glyphed. Every inch of every chain is glyphed and warded to remain as strong for as long as possible. The creature is wrapped extremely tightly, though seemingly, even as you're just standing here watching, one link shatters, and one chain falls limp, and you see what looks to be a small, shadowy form, alongside a taller, lithe one, standing impossibly close to this creature, without being burned to ash in an instant. And you see what looks to be another one of these links failing, and another, and another. The 40-plus massive chains wrapping around this creature turn to 38, 36 before your eyes. And possibly quick are these broken. No one man could break this quickly unless he isn't one man. And you look and see the form, the short one especially, notices your arrival almost on instinct, it seems. The lithe form turns to look at him, but seemingly is singed by how close they are. And you can see them covering their eyes. They begin to approach, drawing weapons, several forms appearing out of ash.
Sal,
and you are afraid.
Seeing... Oh.
And that's where we're going to end this session.
God damn it.
Yeah, you ain't going to react to that. You ain't got enough time to react to that.
Yeah, I'm running away.
Yeah, me too, bro.